That's right. Welcome to Mark's channel. This is Mark. He's not Mark. He's not Mark. We're not Mark's channel. Or we're on Mark's channel. Who cares?
Literally got here like a minute ago. I don't know what happened. I was going 75 down the highway from home from work, and all of a sudden I was going 15 miles an hour on the highway. There was like an ice wall that hit just inside my city, and there were 15 slide offs from my exit to my house, which is like 3 miles. Insane. I just recently got a new vehicle, well, maybe like a year ago, and it's the first time I've ever used four-wheel drive, and I felt like I could barely stay on the road with that.
Wow.
Because we weren't expecting snow and we got ice, so there was no salt on the road at all. I mean, you don't even know what I'm talking about, but holy shit, it was bad.
To an extent, I do. I did for a while in my life. I grew up, and where I learned to drive was actually up in the mountains here, where we do have. We never get. It would almost never get snow at the elevations I was at, but we did get ice almost year round. The
Woo!
various times. So
That
because
was scary.
the patches of the road would never dry out during the day, so they'd always get ice at night and early morning.
Yep.
And it's always fun to drive windy mountain roads on ice.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. There's a hill like just off my neighborhood, right where you turn left out of my neighborhood, and there's a big hill. There was 4 slide offs right down that hill. I told Lisa not to go that way, so I'm scared for her to drive, but hopefully it'll be all right.
Well, there you are.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be worrying about the next little bit. But also, I don't really know if it's outside of my city because, like I said, I was going 75 all the way till I hit my little town. So hopefully, it's just this little area.
Like a little depression or something. Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. If I
But
lived near you, I'd have a little depression too, I suppose. What? What? What?
what's that mean?
I don't know. That just sounds mean, though.
My 3 CBCS submissions that I submitted like months apart from each other, maybe like 4 months apart, all
They're-
got graded.
Yep.
They're all about to get shipped to me probably today or early next week.
That's how I felt about when I started doing this stuff. I was sending off. Oh, I'm going to send off like one a month, and it was on that pattern. And I was like, I'm going to have every month. I'm going to have a nice little patch of something from content come in, right?
Yep.
And that was the idea. And then it was like, oh, nothing's coming, nothing's coming, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's 8 months worth of submissions. They're all coming to you in a 6-7 week period, and yeah. As far as I can tell, that's everybody's getting a bunch of stuff all of a sudden. It's like they're just literally it had to have been all just packed up on racks waiting for the move. And now that they're moved, now they're busting through the stuff.
Yep.
And it's interesting because now they're advertising like for the older books, for the vintage books, they're advertising a pretty short turnaround time for vintage. Well, it's kind of funny because CBCS vintage books, which are their 1975 and older, are on their faster turnaround time than moderns. And then when you go to CGC, the moderns are on the 20-day turnaround time, and the
That's
older
weird.
books are long. So it's like, okay, great. So we just
So you know who to use depending on what age you get
if you want,
faster.
if you just care about turnaround time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Kind of like me and my mystery boxes waiting for my move. Oh, when are you moving?
oh well, yeah. I've been. That's another one of those ones where you sit there and you put some money out there and you just pray that it doesn't just disappear.
Kyle's good for it.
Well, he brought it up, so now I can talk about it, right?
Yeah.
He had some mystery boxes. But he's had some domestic turmoil that's come up.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
it's
I
been
hope everything's going well with you.
It's
Kyle.
been several months.
Yeah. Well, if you beat 14 months, you still beat CBCS, Kyle. So
Yeah, there you are.
actually, I do have an update for you, Rob. Going to get them put together after Thanksgiving. I have a friend coming in that's going to help me. I'm going to probably up it to 2.5 rather than double.
That's fine. I appreciate that.
We'll see when it happens, Kyle. That's that's
That's
fine.
right.
No, that's awesome, man.
No, I know.
Hopefully everything's going
Look,
well with
yeah,
you, and Rob will be satisfied, and everyone will be happy and satisfied.
Rob never satisfied. Well, I take that back. My wife.
Although watching you unbox the CBCS books was fun since
Mhm.
there were so many.
It's so funny because I'm sitting there like there's another batch that I got coming in that I actually was I'm looking at the well forget I'm not playing this game of trying to not know what grades are or anything else because I don't know, I got so
Oh,
many
I
that are
am. I decided not to look, but now I feel like I should look.
well I've been like one of the things like because import all the data into I've got to enter the grades into my inventory system, but I also input all the graders notes and everything else, and so once it's available I was like, okay, I'm going to enter it. I usually by the time I get to unboxing it I forget anyways what's what. So I mean it's still kind of like a refresher, but I noticed when there's like one shipment I was like looking at through the other day and I was like, oh my god, they killed me with these grades, what the hell. This is like atrocious. And then I went to go to enter in the grades into my system and I had pre-graded all the books ahead of time. And I'm going in and I'm like, oh, I guess I already had that book down that low. Oh, I already had that book down there. Oh,
Oh, okay.
oh. And it's like,
It's just been
okay,
so long you just didn't even remember.
right. And then you put plus that many of them
What's
all
up?
together that you didn't think about it. So then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you think that CBCS is doing you wrong, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, I guess I was pretty close. But I have noticed lately, well, CBCS, if I'm wrong, I'm high. It seems where I'm overgrading it, whereas with CGC, it's the other way around. I'm undergrading it if I'm wrong.
Yeah, and I mean, so which is it? Are
Maybe
you right
I'm correct
and
no,
they are a little bit high and a little bit low, or
right.
is CBCS a little stingy? Is CGC more forgiving?
Is it none of the above, and
And
I'm just all over the place because
and then if that is true, let's just say Rob is pretty good. Not every grade is ever spot on, including the ones at CGC and
look,
CBCS, because someone
I
can
judge
grade a book and grade it
well,
differently.
and to be perfectly honest, I freely admit I am I judge a book by its cover.
But if there's nothing in the book that's changing the grade, then it would be the cover.
That's why I've missed a few that have torn pages inside or whatever else
Yeah.
because I haven't done the due diligence I should be doing.
I've
Or
only
when
done that on big books is go through them.
yeah, or when I flipped through a book, I've just kind of looked to see if there was any holes in the pages and didn't, and then I missed a book where there was a completely missed wrap. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh well, the story looked like it continued through fine, and
But I guess what I want to say is
I have blamed
if
it on me being I.
if if CGC tends to overgrade
Hmm.
and CBCS is more stingy, then if that's true and if that's actually found out, like if you did a study, then CBCS 9.8, 9.9 should be better because of their grading. You know what I mean?
It's all relevant. So remember, they're not even on the same. Just because they use the same point scale, it doesn't mean you're using the same grading system, right?
Yes,
Which is
but when someone looks and buys a 9.8, you're still buying a
I,
9.8.
okay. So then, what's wrong with the PGX 98?
You're right. I think that it comes down to like information. I mean, PGX has a lot of problems. they've had many.
But again, my point is like people say, oh well, their grades like they're different systems. They're all the same. They use a 10-point scale. Yes, that's the same, and that's where there's similarities. Really kind of starts to deviate, and from that aspect, I'm not necessarily if I'm judging a book on the Rob scale, which isn't necessarily even 100% the Overstreet scale, and they're doing their own variations of the Overstreet scale, and then everybody's going to have their own different thing on potentially. There's a potential for everybody to be right based on their scales, their system, but have different points on that same 10-point scale.
I know there's been multiple things with PGX, but the most recent one I saw was actually this week, and I believe it was Bry's Comics that put out a video. He had a X-Men 1. I'm pretty sure it was X-Men 1.
Mm-hmm.
That it was a PGX like 4 or something. It doesn't make any difference. It was in the PGX case,
Mm-hmm.
and he was going to sell it, and he thought that it might be restored. So he cracked it, looked at it like close underneath the microscope, looked to be restored, and it was. So PGX apparently is notorious for missing restored books.
Okay.
I mean, that's huge for a book like that. That's thousands of dollars. So just don't buy huge old books in PGX. That would be what I took from that video.
I don't know what their scale system, how good they are or not on that, or if they even how much they're looking at restoration. And
Well, apparently he said it's happened many times. You'll have to go watch the video. It's a great video.
how many times
Very informative.
has he had experienced it? I mean, it's the
He deals with those kind of books, and he deals with people that deal with those kind of books. So of all the people I would trust, he would be the one. And
all
he
right.
sells
So
and buys. You watch the video
that's a reason why those books maybe don't sell as much money. But
on with PGX. Yes.
right.
Yeah. He even said at the end, I'm not gonna. He said basically, if you can buy a PGX book for it being the grade restored or a little couple bumps down restored price, then it could be potentially worth it, because then you at least know you're not paying full price for a 4.0 of something and then having it come back as a 3.0 restored. I mean, that cuts the grade into like a quarter.
I don't see aside from Color Touch, I don't see a lot of restored books in the Silver Age or newer. But most
Yeah,
of those
it would be
restored tend to
older
be
books.
yeah, and I wouldn't. I don't know how much I see PGX on gold books or whatever or atomic age
Yeah,
books
yeah.
though, but again the point still is the same. Still the point was valid with the whole thing of just a pure grading scale. If you're taking modern books, for example, and just anywho, look at that.
There's never going to be a perfect system because, like you said, they use
Well,
different stuff. So,
well, yeah, it's different stuff than it's applied by people, right? So even
yeah,
like EGS now, where Tony talks about that Tony being the owner of EGS, that he's using strictly following the Overstreet guide, that he hasn't created his own variation.
yeah,
So
I like
at,
that.
at least you know what you're expecting. But again, it's still his interpretation at the end of the day as the grader of what of that and applying it. But he also at least will give you a grader's notes on a book with a 9.8.
9.8, yeah.
Yeah, whereas like I got some CGC coming back my way where there's 8.5s that are coming back with no grader's notes. I mean, literally half a shipment, almost everything is like 8.5s to and to 9.4 range, and there's only half the books have grader's notes.
Yeah, I definitely like that. I wish they gave you grader's notes on 9.8s, or I wish they said like what a 9.9 needs to have and what a 10 needs to have. Like, because it doesn't seem like it's up front at all. Almost
Well,
like a
no,
secret.
CGC has they they haven't clearly stated a lot of things with regards to their scale, but um, Matt, whatever I forget his last name. He used to be the head grader, but now he's like he got promoted.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
know
Anyways,
if you were
he
hoping I'd help.
no. Well, anyways, he's the main guy over there at CGC now, and there's some interviews with him that are on YouTube that are pretty interesting, where he went into the grading, and of course now they recently released a book. I haven't paid the money to read their book to see if it got any insight, but during that interview he talked about 9/8s, 9/9s, and 10s, right? And it said a 9/8 has minor production and handling issues. Once you remove one of those, and that's where pretty much he says every book pretty much starts at a 9/8 with normal. The expectation is that there's normal handling and normal production issues. From there, if the book is missing this thing, has plus attributes, then it can be potentially a 9/9 or a 10. 9/9 having either only a minor production blemish, such as say let's say an ASM 361, right, with the machine grab that on the books, right? It could have that, and that machine blemish, if ever so minor, because it's a known thing, it might, if that was the only thing that was present, in theory, it could potentially be a 9/9. But usually not something like that. Usually it's limited to really just like the normal process of manufacturing a perfect book. And for it to have a 10, it can't have any examples of having been manufactured or handled. So, so
So like a metal cover, basically.
right, and those are where we get them. Right, is like there's no fingerprints, there's no finger bends, there's no not the
It's got to be a
slightest,
metal cover that's
not the
flat as fuck,
not the slightest wrinkle, not the slightest rub,
or an acetate
or
cover submitted by a certain
that you
company.
know that no example of like the paper being cut and it be fraying slightly on the end.
What's up, John?
So yeah, those types of things are what you're talking about, or he was alluding to. And it's like, well, if I start a book at a 9, every book starts at 9/8, and then it has to have these mysterious plus attributes or an absence of the normal manufacturing process, then that in order to achieve these 9/9s and 10s, well, it's okay. Then that makes sense. That it's rare, but you're not going to see a lot of them versus somebody else's scale who says, okay, we're going to start at a 10 and we're going to start deducting for each blemish that we see. Well, just by the virtue of where you start on your scale, you're going to have different results, right? I'm glad I don't include readers' notes personally. I was really sick and tired of seeing if it was read by somebody.
Obviously, eating fried chicken.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting look. It's all a it's all. I don't want to say it's a scam because it's not. Because I mean,
Dude,
it's
it's
but
borderline a
but
scam
but look, we've as
that we've
collectors,
bought into because we like it.
right? We've bought into it, and in the notion of having an independent third party supposedly evaluate these books and give them value. Um, but at the end of the day, that's a segment of the community that's done that. I'm one of them. Obviously, have a lot. I haven't fallen into like, oh, it's got to be this company or that company only, right? I'm a
Nah.
little more generous, but at the end of the day, look, it's part of the presentation to me that's kind of cool. I like, but
Yeah. I mean, they're grading VHS tapes now. I just saw they're grading Funko Pops, which I don't
well,
think will work at all, but that's a whole nother conversation.
well, the fun one is that they've done, or they took I was just talking about this. I mentioned it to Digger Jim the other day. CGC had sent out this notice, but So CGC has, well, I guess technically it's not CGC, but that one of their other divisions of the company who does coins and has for a while. Apparently, coins have used a standard 70-point system
Of
for
course.
throughout everything. Because
What
70, yeah,
else would you think it would be,
no, I mean
Rob?
I don't know,
70. I
right?
wouldn't
Exactly,
think 50 or 100.
100, no, 70.
No, or 10.
I'm
No.
surprised though they didn't want to go with 72. I mean, 72 would have been
I
much
mean,
more.
if it has plus attributes, maybe, right?
Yeah, all right. So the so they've run on this particular system that's been standard throughout the whole coin into collecting hobby, whatever, for a long time. But now the CGC's coin division is going to introduce 10-point scale because that's what all they think, because all the other collectors are used to seeing a 10-point scale. Therefore, we're going to introduce a 10-point scale for the coins.
That's
Forget the
ballsy.
fact that everybody else is out there in coins has been doing this other thing for decades, right?
That's either gonna change the game. Hello, Miss O. How you
Right.
doing? Or it's gonna flop because people are gonna be like, "This is a 4, and I like to buy my coins when they're 45." You know,
And,
like
and that doesn't even, and there's not, yeah, how does that even relate? You're like,
exactly. There's no relation at
because
all.
there's obviously, if something has a 70-point scale, there's obviously quite a bit of gradient there, you
Yeah.
know, as
I
opposed
think it's a
to,
good idea, but I don't think you can do it by yourself as a company and succeed.
and are you
I'll
going
be
to do it?
interested. Jim, if you're watching this, I want to know how that goes in
Oh,
like a year.
he said I don't didn't expect it to go over well. But I mean, because are you going to do the same like weird shit where you're going to go, oh, okay, we're going to have half grades in this range, but here we're going to have this like 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9, which
Yeah,
is still the
yeah.
weirdest damn thing, right? We'll have like
It's some
we're going to have the
bullshit.
gradient up here, but not the rest of the way down.
Yeah,
Um, it really is a bizarre scale.
yeah, and oh shit, what was I? Oh, CBCS. Nick from Nick's Kicks and Comics was talking about CBCS
Hmm.
potentially changing their label. And
Again.
if you got a 9.8, 9.9, or 10, I don't know if this is happening anymore, but it was going to be happening.
Hmm.
It was going to be a black label, like when with the cards that they do at Beckett. And then the 9.8 or 9.9 would be in gold, I believe is what he said.
Hmm.
So do you know what I'm talking about? Trading cards that are graded, like if they're graded at a 10, they get a
My
different.
Pokemon cards are all graded at Beckett.
So Beckett does silver labels unless you hit, I believe it's a 9, then it's a gold label. And if it's a 10, it's a black label if you get all 10 subgrades. So it would be something similar to that fashion where it's like an upgraded different color label, which I like the idea, but I don't think it'll work for comic books because that's just not the standard.
Well, the
We'll see
standard is
though.
what? Because CGC was there first, everybody was just copying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like you've
Subvert.
taken. Well, we want our stuff to be like CGC. Apparently, they set the standard, which is, or they did theirs, and everyone's trying to copy theirs because they've been established by a subset of the community as the standard. To the point where you still have people complaining all the time. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't like the CBCS label because it doesn't have a white. I like to have that white label around the number. I mean, that's what we've really has held them back in some
I
people's
can't
minds for so
that can't get
long.
behind that
And
one.
I'm like, well, look, I can understand what arguing one way that you might like one better than the other, but I mean, that's what keeps you from. Oh, I got to have them all the same.
No,
Oh,
yeah, that's not.
because when they're all stacked inside your box, it's put on a shelf. It matters that they all those labels look exactly the same.
Yeah, but at the
Come
same
on.
time, I know a lot of people, including myself, a big reason for grading. I think you as well. A big reason for it is the aesthetic of it. So if the aesthetic does seem off in any way, I'm not saying you disagree with it. I'm just saying
I'm just
like
saying, no, I'm saying is look behind me.
the aesthetic
There's
of
a
it
mix up
being
there,
graded.
and for the
Yeah,
most part,
some
can you?
people that are so OCD though, you know that.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Do I have the
I
yellow
just
label?
like my
Should I
stuff
put
to
yellow
look
labels even
nice,
on my
and
wall? My
I don't
God.
know.
Well, I mean, look, I look. I've said it though. The same thing when we talk about EGS and their labels, right? Is his when they first came out with this site with these custom labels that they had, and I was talking about, look, oh, it's playing Barbies with your comics, right? And my negative knock on it initially was, well, what about me as a collector? If I'm just if these aren't my books and I'm going at a show, and this is the whole mentality I was thinking, like that this is the only thing that mattered was, oh, if I'm flipping through a box of comics and I come across this one that's got a pink label or a blue green label or all this other stuff on it, whatever color they are, yellow red label, how do I know what that means? I
Yeah,
mean, there is something to be said about some sort of standardization. Now, the standardization
no, just
could
for that.
be,
That's
if
where
you're,
the Burke slab is, the Morpentime one.
yeah, but if CGC has their stable and their own has their standard, and Beckett wants to be standard from their card to their whatever, fine. That people will learn that standard.
Yeah,
Customization is still never going to be standard, right? Other than, and that's fine. But and Burke, you can say no EGS for you, and that's fine. I'll tell you that there are certain books I am going to send to EGS. Now, for me, for grading, you know, regular stuff, it's not probably where I'm going to send my books. But
What's up, Mark?
like some of these, like when I go and I take this book that Roscoe did. Oh,
Dude,
dude, I'm
Roscoe is the fucking best.
right. I'm gonna send this to EGS, and I'm gonna work with him to get a
Yep,
freaking badass custom label, maybe some
yep.
sort of Nightmare of Christmas ish type
Oh,
label
get the
without.
moon. Get the little
Right,
thing in the moon,
exactly.
dude.
We'll
You could
The
do
figure
so
something.
many
hill,
things.
the hill that he walks
Yeah,
on.
the hill,
Yeah,
the
the
hill.
little
Get
Put
like
it in the
curls the
moonlight.
other way. Sorry.
get
Um,
like the hill with the grade sitting on the end of it where Jack would
yeah,
be
who knows?
standing.
Dude, that would
Whatever.
look sick.
Right. So I mean, from that standpoint, that's
That is
for me
fun.
is
Yeah.
is great for it, and it is. Hey, I'm playing Barbie with it at
That's
that
what I
point.
need to do with my Roscoe book too.
Yeah. So good morning, there, sunshine. How are you?
Moving slow.
Dude, your book looks like it was pressed with a flat iron.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. My DC, 2 points deducted, 8 point for you. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what he's talking about. They're talking Lady Fantastic and her grading scale. Okay, got it. They were still talking about that. I'm hip now. Getting caught up with the chat. Sorry. Alan, good morning.
Hey, Alan.
Honest grading notes. Got it. Like honest trailers, but for graders notes. Awesome.
I haven't seen those in a long time. They used to pop up in my
Yeah, I
feed
haven't
all the
seen them
time.
either in a long time. Hold on one
Yeah,
second,
I
guys.
I purposely was watching some the other day for entertainment. I was watching like the honest trailer for Maverick and for I don't know, a few others, recent movies. It was kind of funny.
Kind of thinking about it, I think they kind of like stopped when COVID hit because like movies stopped for a while. I don't think I've really seen them since movies started back up. I need to
No,
check that.
again, I just like I said, saw one for Maverick.
Yeah, I'm saying I haven't like
Oh,
I've never like searched them or anything. It was something that because I watch a lot of
yeah, I
movie
just
trailers
got
and
it.
stuff like that. It would like kind of naturally just pop up in my feed, and I'd
Fair enough.
forgotten about them. I need to
Hey,
get those
Dosh.
back.
Excuse me.
You or excuse
I
me.
could not fall asleep last night until
Mm-mm.
about 2 something in the morning, and then my alarm came hard at 4.
I woke up like early, like in the middle of the morning, and went and used the bathroom, and went and lay back down. And I've told you this before. Whenever I lay back down, because there was like hours, it was like 3 hours before we needed to be here. Whenever I do
Right.
that, that's why I do that stupid shit like stay up at 3 in the morning until work. Watch 5 different TV shows and read a stack of books because I'm always afraid I'll just sleep too hard after that. You excited for the con, Rob?
I don't. Nah. The problem is,
The Thanksgiving weekend. I see every time you mention, I saw that
yeah,
post. Like, despite the fact that
yeah. I mean, it's like Thanksgiving weekend is just a big damper on it because I got my kids.
they're a damper.
They're coming back from school, right? And so they're in town for the weekend. So it's really tough. Like when your kids have been going to school, be away, and you're gonna say, "Okay, well, thank you for coming all this way. Daddy's gonna take off. See you guys all later."
I need some me time.
And on top of that, I really, 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 really hate, and I mean hate, the city of San Francisco. And having to go up into the city of San Francisco is definitely not on my list of things I'd like to do.
So that's your Atlanta.
Sort of, yeah, probably. Then Then, as far as I know right now, pretty much I'm going by myself, right? Yeah, E-Man will be there, and I might run into him type stuff, but I'm not going with friends or anything else. And okay, and then I don't know what day. Originally, I was going to go Friday, but Friday now is only at 3 hours. It's open. I'm not going to go all. I'm definitely not going up to San Francisco on Friday afternoon after work. Or well, I guess there's no work that day, but going up there Friday and dealing with that stuff for 3 hours while people are probably still scrambling to set their booths up because they weren't in there doing it the night before on Thanksgiving. Um, so that leaves Saturday, Sunday. Each one of those days, one of my kids is leaving to go back to school. So I don't know. I'll go at least one day. Sure, if you want to come up, Kyle, we'll go. I don't have any extra passes, but you can get them easily enough. Um, I so yeah, I just haven't decided like what day I'm going to go. Saturday, I'd kind of like to go because that's the day that well, Jim Lee's going to be there that day. He's only there for one day. It's also a day there's a panel that my LCS owners are part of. And a lot of local LCS owners are going to be on this one panel talking about running a shop and being in this area, which would be kind of interesting. Um, so that might be somewhat interesting, but at the same time, part of me goes, well, Sunday's the day though that if you want to get deals, you might be able to get some deals. But
Yeah, passes aren't the problem.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
San Francisco is a bad place at times. Atlanta's better. For me, I just hate having to deal with the traveling there, man. Like it's just such a
I do.
pain. Like I
San
hate
Francisco.
being there. I hate getting there. I even
Look,
hate leaving there, and I don't even want
I'm
to
not.
be there.
I'm not a fan of big cities. Like being in the middle. I don't like being surrounded by skyscrapers
Dude,
and stuff.
that's the same thing that I said. Like when you step outside and everything, I'm like, dude, like what the
Yeah,
hell? Like I didn't realize
look.
how
I'm a
country
child of.
bad.
I'm a child of the suburbs, and grew up. I grew up partly in the suburbs and partly up in the mountains, and so I'm not a fan of being in the city. I do understand where I have friends that love city life, where they don't have to hardly drive anywhere, and that they actually have infrastructure there. They can go to these, ride transit and subway and all these other things here and there. But for me, that's not necessarily my jam. And when I go there, I feel like the buildings are falling in on top of me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the streets are super narrow. Getting
Mm-hmm.
around there is so difficult. There's no parking to be had anywhere.
Everything that
Or
you're saying are exactly my concerns, man. I 100% agree.
yeah.
Like the
So
stress level that I have trying to go to like Dragon Con or that Journey concert, I'm
mm,
like it doesn't like it just doesn't make sense in my head. I'm like, even despite the fact that thousands and thousands and thousands of people live just perfectly fine finding a parking place, driving around in there, I still don't feel comfortable. I'm like, where the fuck do I park? And then how far do I have to walk? What kind of time frame will I be working with? Like, because I've seen all that stuff, you know what I mean? And I don't. I feel like I don't have to like work too hard to plan it. It's just stuff that kind of comes together. But when you put in like that city aspect to it, it's just it twists my head.
Yeah, and we had like last time I went up there was for that Empire Strips Back, the Star Wars burlesque show, and
I was about to say, did I hear that right?
yeah, you did. It was a Star Wars. It was a Star Wars burlesque show. It was awesome. And we went with friends, and I had a good time. But I didn't normally like. I'll drive when we go places, but I told my wife, "So no, you can drive. You want to get up in San Francisco, you drive, whatever." And it's like I can't stand her driving, but I will put up with it because I don't want to go into the city. I hate driving around in the city. It just bugs the crap out of me. But and then, of course, yeah, we parked by the show. They all want to have dinner down here. We had to walk like, you know, 15 minutes to get from the parking place to go have dinner, then walk 15 minutes back from having dinner back to the friggin' place where the show was. So that way we were 5 minutes away from where the show was with the car parked. And then you got to make sure that wherever you park your car, is it going to be, is that parking place going to be open still? Wow, that's loud.
Was this really loud?
It's
that's
super
like-
loud.
It couldn't even
Wow,
hear
I'm
us talk.
sorry. That's super strange, isn't it?
Well,
No,
the
I think the
microphone, you're holding it up
microphone-
next to your microphone.
No, I was holding. It's on this side.
No,
My
I
mic-
just-
Your cord is right here, buddy.
No,
He's got,
I'm
he's
using
got
this.
a microphone, but I'm wondering if
Oh.
if the speaker, if the sound's coming through this instead.
Oh, maybe it is. I'll look. I'm sorry though.
I don't know, but yeah, that was like wow.
No, it's coming
it's-
through the right thing.
It sounded like I assumed it was the mic on his thing because he's holding
Just
it
a
there and he's got the
great-
scissors right there, and it was just so loud.
I'm
I was
doing
like,
it on purpose. Fuck you guys.
holy cow!
That was my point. What's up? What's up?
All right, I'm gonna postulate a little bit about
Oh,
you
shit.
talking about your lack of contentedness in a city environment. So
Okay.
think about what you're made of. You're made of mostly like
Carbon.
water, but
Yep.
organic material. You think you probably would feel more comfortable in an environment made of the same stuff as you are than a concrete jungle. And that's like scientifically proven that your stress levels will go down if you go out and spend time in nature. Just like
Well, that makes
period.
sense, but I also hate people generally.
Yeah, me too, man. They suck.
And the problem with the
I
city is they're in high density, and the higher
Oh.
density of people, the higher density of stupid, and that just drives me crazy. So that's kind of my driving
Yeah.
thing.
Well, so next or new ex guy,
Mhm.
he said that he lived in the middle of nowhere and he hated every moment. So I grew up on a 150-acre farm in the middle of nowhere, cattle farm,
Mhm.
and I had a great childhood. I really loved it. Socially, that it's like retarded. Like it's literally like
It's isolating.
slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's slowed in time, and you don't get the intellectual stimulation that you would if you were in a city. Because yes, there are much more stupid people, but you also have your intellects.
Yeah, and that's where I've always enjoyed the suburbs. It was kind of it was a mix, right?
The
You had
fusion.
I had my own yard. I can just space out. I can do my own thing at the same time. I'm nearby things. I can do that stuff, or I can get together with the neighbors and some other stuff. But I know it's not for everyone, and I know that there are people like DJ saying that love the big city environment. I have several friends who just absolutely love it and adore it, and that's great. But there, just as there are people like that where DJ wouldn't trade it for the world, he would go crazy living out in the country. There's other people who are the reverse, and that's just fine.
Yeah.
It is.
My father is a reverse. He's like you. He turns into a nervous wreck, and like if he drives in the city, he's the biggest dick. So I have to drive.
I mean, I used to do it when I used to work for the radio station. I had to drive, and maybe that's part of the problem, right? I used to go up there all the time for the radio stations and stuff, and I was always having to drive like either big panel vans that you had no windows and stuff already in the narrow streets of San Francisco, or driving the Humvee or something else that doesn't fit. It doesn't even fit in the lanes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of like, look, people know at this point I'm a planner, right? And so one of the things that is you can't plan for when you go up to like a big city or San Francisco, like San Francisco stuff, is that you can plan your route and your roads that you're going to take and everything else. That's fine. But you get there and like, oh, we're doing we're doing road construction over here, and now this whole route is in flux and everything else, and you're and you don't know. If you live in the city, that's fine because you probably either know or you're just taking transit. You're not necessarily driving here and there, or you're just
Or
taking a cab or Uber.
or you're used to having obstacles
Right,
and you relinquish the fact that you're not in control.
right.
Seems like you're a guy that likes to
I
be
don't like to link or relinquish control much,
yeah.
but also being 60 miles away, I don't just normally I'm not just hopping in there's no bus transit that's convenient for me to get up there and take into the city and everything else. It's just ridiculous. Okay, there you go. Tootsies, everybody. All the
Um,
porn's coming in now.
yeah. What
Um,
do they call them? Ootsy tootsies, snootsy bootsies, oots and snoots. You guys and your little names.
yeah.
Um, the thing
Yeah.
is, though, DJ, he was saying he loves like the city. I
Mhm.
have a question for you, DJ. Do you have access, or do you go to like parks? Like, are there like natural areas within a city?
DJ has a
Because
Yeah, there
large
are.
backyard, fully grass backyard with a loop around driveway in the city of New York. That boy's got
What's
money.
funny is I always used to laugh because you'd always watch when you watch Full House, the old TV show Full House, right?
Mhm.
And they always had that backyard with grass, everything and stuff in San Francisco. I said it doesn't exist. That
No,
I guarantee that house does not have that. There's no, oh, hey, somebody just pulled up in front of the house with an RV and stopped in. None of that happens. There's it's just it is a complete and utter fallacy. But the funny thing is there are houses in San Francisco that are like that. There is an area that's old town that is very money. I mean, I actually remember we delivered back in a long time ago when I used to run TV delivery and service and stuff, and we went out there and went to a house that actually had a swimming pool, their own private swimming pool in San Francisco. And I was like, my God, to have the real estate there, you could have your own home and have your own backyard, your own yard with your own swimming pool and all this stuff in San Francisco. That's insane. I mean,
that's money. I mean, that's a
but
lot of money.
yeah, no.
Fuck money,
But then I
dude.
go to people's houses. Like I had a buddy of mine who, from high school, he got a job out of high school working for Yahoo. It was a startup at the time, and he ended up retiring at like 28 or something because Yahoo money back in his prime, and
Yeah.
so he ended up buying an entire house that was like that was a building, I should say, that was set up originally to have like 3 or 4 different families living in it. And he like one was the ground floor was like his music studio, and the top was his art studio, and he lived in the middle floors and stuff. And it was down by the Castro Heights, and we go to visit him, and it was kind of cool. I will admit, once you got there, like he goes, "Oh, hey, let's go do this," and you walk like 7 minutes, or 5 minutes down the hill, and you're down in a downtown area full of all kinds of restaurants. You go, and you want to go, so you just hop on the streetcar and go down, or the trout or whatever, in a couple stops, and you're there. I can understand and appreciate for people who like that kind of active life and like have all those things super convenient to get around. So I can see the appeal for those types of
Well,
things.
it's like you said, infrastructure.
Right.
It's a thing, and um, that's where most of your universities are. And if they aren't, then there's a town around the university, and there's usually just more cultural things for you to do.
Yeah.
Like you can go see shows, you can go to plays or museums. There's comic shops. Like these are the things that like okay, rural life versus, urban
Yeah.
life. But literally, who was saying that taking a piss off the circumstances? Listen, for real, my father has a home on the river. He literally gets out and he pisses off the deck. And like he fucking loves it. But it's like into the river. And it's like, God damn, dad. But he loves it.
Hey, the fish are pissing in the river. Why can't he?
I think that's the rationale that he uses, man.
Once a month, he gets cussed out by a
That's
kayaker.
that's why I always love people who tout their all natural spring water. Oh, that spring water that all the animals are pissing and shitting in and dying in. That's so much better than the treated water.
Fresh. It's fresh as fuck though.
You look at
Fresh AF.
spring water, just municipal water.
Mm-hmm.
Municipal water was fresh water at one point.
Urine's good, man. I love drinking urine.
Yeah.
I mean, not to swim with
Urine
lady
for
F's.
a treat. All right. No, I got this in yesterday. I'm trying to get Avengers 116. This is the Avengers versus Defenders. And it's an amazing Avengers versus Defenders.
Who
To the
wins?
death.
I bet the Defenders.
The readers.
Jesus Christ wins.
It's the
Every day.
Avengers versus the Defenders.
Yeah,
To the death.
So it's 116 through 118. If you guys ever see Avengers 116 through 118, it's one of the best storylines where just the Avengers and the Defenders beat the shit out of each other. And
Who dies? Spoiler.
dies?
Guys. Yeah. Does anybody die?
No.
Because it does say right on the cover, to the death.
It's us to the death, but they probably think somebody dies, and there's nobody that dies.
Oh,
Nobody
I'm
in
so
the
depressed now.
there's no character
It's
from
like
either part of the team.
comic covers lie to me or something.
But like
Vision, Vision dies, but they just put him back on the charger at the end.
that, or like Wanda will die, but Vision really ends up just scooping her from the air, and she's fainted or something. It's shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like my whole world has been shattered that comic book covers may not necessarily reflect what happens inside the books.
Oh, damn. Good morning, Robert. How are you today?
Let me see my middle finger.
I'm making you big.
No, this one. Here we go. See, she's just laying there. Oh, carry me. Oh, yeah.
You should do like read-throughs of comics.
I probably could do it
Voice
much
each
better
character.
in these.
Comic book
Friends of old
voiceovers with
Marvel.
Lady F.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this. Let me go just like the first page. The scene is the Sanctum Sanctorum of Doctor Strange, and the password is action. Odin's blood! I did but place my hand upon the latch to Doctor Strange's abode, and an unseen force hurled us into the sky. For a rough guess, Thor, I'd say he doesn't want visitors. That's the witch.
Like the voice of somebody.
You
who
can follow
beat
along with us
Harry
in your book. You'll know it is
Yeah.
time to turn the page when Lady F says, fuck you, like this.
No, when she beeps.
Beep.
Beep.
And listen to this. Okay, here we go. The Silver Surfer right here. Swimming through lava is useless. I shall have to clear small areas for my search.
We need her and Remy Q to do one of these together.
Remy and I,
That's
yes. We need
great.
to assign roles. You know what? Like, this is a fucking script, all right?
Yeah.
I
And
think that's a
people
great
have
idea.
roles.
We've
it is
done
a
that
great
before.
idea. It's
Or
great.
the comic community's done that before.
Have they?
Yeah.
I don't
wanna
care.
say Burritos
I
have
don't
done
care.
it, and no. I think I wish it happened more often.
I especially like the idea of adding the whole follow along with us in your book. You'll know it's time to turn
Yes.
the page.
So if it's a follow along,
That
then
could
it
be
obviously
your
has to
part,
be
Rob.
Turok.
That's right.
Because that's the only one that everybody has. And we can just all read Turok 1 together.
Oh, you can do whatever. You just put the panels up on the screen. That's fine.
I would need your technical expertise because I don't give a fuck about shit.
You
like
just
that.
did it. You just did it right there. You held it up.
Oh, like
That
with
was-
my hands, do the old
That's-
manual.
That's even more. That's right. Do it manually. A little manual stimulation. Wait, I mean, there you go. Look at
We've
that.
been working man
Whoa.
country.
That's
We could do
right.
that.
Man country, nice.
Let's see what's up here. Oh, Dormammu. You got Dormammu?
Mm.
Motherfucker.
Here is-
Freaky losing.
We've done it, Loki. Deceived Doctor Strange and the Defenders into believing that the evil eye can break the spell holding the Black Knight in a prisoner stone.
That is a
Oh,
sentence there to unpack all into its own.
Okay, Loki says this. Fine, Dormammu. I be pleased that thou art pleased.
In
God,
other
why don't
words,
they do that in the movies today? That's
Give
I'm
it
so-
like Shakespearean.
I'm happy that you're happy. Yeah, could just say that, huh?
yeah.
I'm so happy
DJ,
you're happy,
more cowbell.
Dormammu. I love comics, man. They're so fucking goofy. I live for it. I live for the camp. Speaking of Spawn 1, I bought this for what's his name? Soul Twice. He likes the blanks, so
Yeah.
I got him a blank. Got a few blanks I'm gonna shoot his way.
Nice.
Wow. So, Lady F is shooting blanks. Got it.
Mm-hmm. All day, every day, impregnating your mind with creativity.
Can we get a stripped down acoustic version of Takeable Penis?
Ooh. Takeable penis. Takeable penis.
I like his effect. I like to the tune of "I Did It My Way." You know,
Yeah, I
or-
know. I want it my way.
I want it my way. Yeah, it's like,
Tell me why.
do I
It's
have to
nothing but
rub
a
the balls?
slabbed case.
Tell me why. Are they
Yeah.
different size?
So I think it's true that getting your shit slabbed is like playing Barbies. But then, okay, Fat Stacks, then you went back and you made a pretty fair counterpoint, which was if I am seeing this as in the context of someone who wants to pass this, or as like, I don't know, maybe
Remy.
monetary venture, then it makes sense to slab. But like, I don't do this for fucking money. I want
Right.
to raw dog them bitches. I want to finger the hell out of them.
Right.
I
And
only do this for money.
for me, I like art, and so it's like hanging art on my wall.
Okay,
that's
that's
true.
fair. But do you have readers?
Sure.
Or do you just do digital?
Oh no. Oh, I can't stand it. Although I got back into comics, so digital was a gateway to get me back into comics. When I did,
That's fair.
I got out of digital pretty fast because I don't like reading on a tablet.
It's my least favorite format. I don't like that medium. It just doesn't feel real.
But you know, I have a high percentage of slab books, but it's still minuscule compared to the amount of raw books I have. So
okay, so what's the size of your collection?
about 10, just under 10% is slabbed.
No. I want a number. I want a raw number, like total number of comics.
It's like under 8,000, but it's
Okay.
over somewhere. It's in the 7,000s range somewhere.
I got about half that, and I still want to get rid of more because I got too much.
Yeah, I just got done building new shelves. And now I'm going, and I just had to go. I was just at my LCS this week. I said, "All right, I got new shelves. I need three more boxes, and this size. And I need 2 of these boxes." And my guys going, and this is what I love about my LCS manager. He's such a jerk sometimes. He's like, "Dude, you just bought boxes last week." Yeah, and I want to buy some more this week.
That is a terrible feeling.
I'm so sorry that I want to spend money in your store. And he's
What
like,
a butthole. Yeah,
well,
he's
he's like, what do you want to do? He said, well, but he's like, he talks about his like replenish. He's concerned about keeping his inventory up. It's like if I buy it, then it's not there for somebody else.
Fucking dude, what do you want? Money or inventory?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not the owner, right? Because the owner would be like, "Oh, yes, please. Let me turn this stuff on the shelf that's not necessarily going to make me any more money." And are you eating ice cream? You son of a bitch!
I'm pretty jealous of that.
I am too. The dude's like eating himself like an ice cream cone here, and he's obviously it's cold because he's wearing a jacket in the car.
Yeah,
but he's having himself a nice drumstick.
That's never stopped me from eating ice cream. That's never bothered me.
You know what? I love turkey, but turkey would be so much better if that was the drumstick.
Turkey drumstick.
That could just break off one of
I
those.
don't really like ice cream and turkey together.
They should do that like an ice cream cake. Turkey, yeah,
turkey flavored ice cream.
No, not turkey flavored ice cream.
Oh, I guess I was on a different page than you.
Yes.
I was like, wow, that sounds terrible, Rob. Does not sound good to me.
I love John Byrne negative covers. So I just got my Fantastic Four box next to me, and I'm just pulling bullshit. I haven't seen Wakanda yet. Have y'all seen it?
Oh yeah.
I know
I
you
have
saw
not.
it. I heard
I enjoyed
there
it.
were characters. No, I'm just kidding.
I was
enjoyed it.
waiting for a Lady Fantastic review.
You want me, are you serious? You don't give a shit about what I say.
That's exactly what I was waiting for. I'm not kidding you.
That's why we want to hear.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, after I go see it, I'll do a review.
We need to
All right.
hear it.
But look, when I did Rings of Power review, it did not end well.
Well,
I was
In
not.
what way?
it has to earn. It has to earn.
Well, I
good
mean, in terms of like what I want as a person and my personal needs being met by a fucking TV show.
Well,
wasn't
yeah, but
good.
that's why we want to hear you talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna go see Wakanda this Saturday actually. So I'll let you guys
I will
know.
just simply say like this: like, okay, if this is like, I went in with low expectations, so it's kind of like we going out on a date and expecting to go home sad and lonely. But I mean, when I walked out of the theater, I came twice.
So it's like you going in with a hag, but you come out with Elizabeth Hurley.
Who knows? But I surely enjoyed myself. That's all that really
Right.
mattered. I could
You're
barely walk.
embarrassing me in company.
I know. I know.
Mark doesn't have those in here. Damn it.
I went in there thinking like, I don't know, I'm gonna walk home lonely, but I could barely walk when I left.
My ass was sore. No, I'm just kidding. Sweet. Well, this is what I think, and personally,
And
this
I'm not
should
saying
have
it's the
happened.
greatest thing ever. I'm just saying it far surpassed my expectations
That's good.
into a damn all right fun movie.
Oh man, it didn't do that for me. I really liked it too, but I don't know about far surpassed.
Halle Berry.
Well, I had very low expectations.
Here we go.
I had very low expectations for that, and I did. And
Tyler
I
only
did.
came
I was
once.
not. I was not let down.
Halle Berry as Storm was a crime against nature. And they should have casted fucking just post how Stella got her groove back, Angela Bassett. Because 25 years ago, when that movie was made, she would have fucking been banging. She would have kicked ass. She is Storm. And like Richard Gere is Magneto. Well,
I
back
don't
then.
know. I don't.
Richard Gere
not an
is
expert guy,
everything.
so.
White hair, get him
Richard
buff.
Gere
Oh,
is
fuck
everything.
yeah. I mean, he's weird, but who cares? Most of them are. Sorry.
No, it's
so
all right.
dreamy.
My wife would probably have that conversation with you because she's an X-Men person. I'm not.
Oh, is she good?
Oh, I thought just
Sounds
because
cooler
of
than you
Richard
then.
Gere fan. I'm a huge Richard
No.
Gere fan.
My wife was. Oh God, what's his name?
Okay, Legion, this is what I'm going to tell you, Mark. They can't all fucking be in game. And I think every little boy goes into every Marvel movie with a half chub hoping it's going to be in game. They can't all be in game. Just like he said, they have to weave together. So they're weaving the fabric so they can jump to different places.
Alan's
So
gonna go get some ice cream.
Yeah, unfortunately, Phase 4 just didn't.
then a fucking
do enough,
Slim Jim,
It didn't do
a
enough
Nutty Buddy,
weaving
and then a
either.
Slim Jim.
Yeah,
This man's American. This motherfucker is American.
That's a good American if I've ever seen.
God.
Oh, there he is. Brandon Fraser. That's who my wife was.
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. Back in the day,
Fraser.
back in his George of the Jungle day, my wife was like, no,
Look
that
at
was her.
Legion. He's like,
That
that's
was her
not.
free
He
pass.
might,
She was
win,
like, oh.
he might win Best Actor this year.
Coming
so,
off of the Mummy,
Watch out.
that guy was
Well,
on top of the world.
Well, after watching him swing around the vines in loincloth for George of the Jungle, that was her identified free pass was Brendan Fraser back in the day.
Ugh. In game is not a watermark. Okay, like you're one person that said that among infinitely many boys saying it wasn't as good as in game. Not as good as in game.
I feel like the first two phases were mostly amazing. So,
yeah, the original Avengers is good, and honestly, I liked Age of
So good.
Ultron. James Spader as Ultron's voice was
Ultron has
badass.
gotten better with age.
Yeah.
I didn't love it initially, but I've rewatched it. I've really enjoyed it on rewatch, especially after this last phase.
It grows on you, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And honestly, like Winter Soldier and then Civil War. Civil War
Oh
is one
yeah,
of my
all
favorite
those are good.
movies.
Sure.
Like
Remy, are you now eating jerky? Is that what you're?
Slim
Yeah,
Jim.
that's what we were talking about. Slim Jim.
He's slamming Nutty Buddies
Oh
and
my
Slim
God.
Jims.
You're missing out, Rob. This
He's
is
a
old
growing
news.
boy, bro.
Your diet is amazing.
This
I
was just
figured if I was going to sneak on, it might as well be during breakfast.
yeah.
Exactly.
That sounds like the 7-Eleven or Quickie Stop freaking breakfast of champions. What that sounds like.
Mhm.
Walk
just
in.
that, like-
Let me get a
Kind of
drumstick.
survey what
out of-
they've got.
right,
Like,
right
all
there
right,
at the
you don't
gate.
have any.
Right there. It's right there at the counter. It's like, let me get
Mhm.
10 gallons of gas. I'll have a drumstick. I'll get one of these Slim Jims, day old donut, and a lottery ticket.
And some jungle juice.
Yeah, and a Gatorade.
Yeah, because I got from my electrolytes.
Yeah. Alan, I agree with you. Wakanda Forever definitely wasn't a fun movie. In fact, after the movie, Lisa and I were talking about like rewatching a movie soon, and she wanted to rewatch DC League of Super Pets and Black Adam. Those were the two she named.
So before I can make any real statements, I'm gonna have to watch Black Panther first, Alan. But I would like to know more specifically after I see it what you mean by half-assed, as compared to, like how do you quantify this being half-assed as opposed to that? I mean, do you think
It
there
had
was too much
story.
dialogue? Did it go on for too long? You know what I mean? And also, like Legion was saying, like the Black Panther franchise had a very, very like pointed, focused direction. We lost the guy, the main
Yeah.
guy. Chadwick Boseman, rested in peace. But here's the thing. It's not like the comics don't have Shuri being Black Panther, because they definitely do.
It's also not like, I understand their initial reaction and people how much they loved him and say, "Oh, we're not going to recast." But God damn it, people, get over the concept that you can't recast a character. I mean, it's
Batman, Superman, all the men.
it could.
Yeah. Well, they wanted him to recast like his family did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. They
Wouldn't
came
you-
out and said it right away. They wanted the Black Panther mantle to live on and not die with Chadwick.
Yeah, and I think he wanted it to go on too.
Yeah,
didn't
and he did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they could have recast it. Would have been, nobody would have.
I think they
wouldn't have-
panicked.
you
when
wouldn't
it
have-
happened and just said no, we're not recasting, and then
It was a knee jerk reaction.
yeah, it was. I had to be.
Lack
Mr.
of
Digger
character
Jim.
development, you guys have. So I heard
morning.
commentary on the video video effects about this. It's not the first time I've heard someone talk about the video effects not being the best.
I
think they were better than the first movie. The end of the first movie's VFX were maybe some of the worst in Marvel. That and
Black
She-Hulk.
Panther?
Yeah,
I'll have
that
to watch
fight.
it
That
now.
fight on the train track
Well, yeah, that was
looked
a little
like
tough.
a terrible
Yeah, that
video
was-
game.
But
from,
it's
like,
not as bad as Legolas grabbing the front of a horse and somehow throwing himself on top of the back of it. Fucking shit.
There's,
Yeah, but
as
that's
long
just
as long as
physics.
we continue to
you
do,
must not understand physics. Clearly, you can do that.
as long as there are going to be computerized graphics for large scenes,
Hey, Jim.
scale, and not just like
Hey, Remy.
little bit here and there, then it's going to be, you're going to have these situations where you just have to suspend disbelief every once in a while and just move on. Either that or
Yeah.
everything's got, because not everything can be Top Gun. They can't actually find, weird.
Art and fun
go under-
and be amazing and perfect.
I mean, you can't always just strap the actor in an actual thing and make, okay, let's go do this for real.
Yeah.
What I
Hey,
really
in
want
the
to do is I
chat.
want to
I'll check
capture
in a
this
little
right.
bit.
So what I'm going to do is I'm
Bye.
going to put your job actress. I'm going to push you off this building, and I'm going to have the actual actor. You're going to go free fall because I want it to look real, and I'm going to have an actor come swing in from the side and try to catch you. It'll be fine. Maybe.
Maybe. It's a one take thing. It either is or it isn't.
It either is or isn't. But we have a. Don't worry, we have a line of lookalike actresses, and we're not afraid to recast. So let's go practical effects.
So, so Legion then. So were the biggest issues for you the shitty plot and the shitty acting, or the shitty character development?
I don't think that acting was shitty at all.
So was it the script then? The development, the lack of development?
What are we talking about?
Black
Wakanda
Panther,
Forever.
Like,
the
yeah,
newest, the newest Black
the
Panther.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
long and it could be edited. 3 hours is a bit much.
I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was good.
But
movie.
yeah, but overall,
haven't
I
seen
agree.
it.
I enjoyed it. I
I
thought
haven't
it,
seen
like
it
I
yet
said,
either.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
man.
nice and that it was not this. It wasn't the cookie cutter formula
Yeah.
that everyone's been railing against.
God, it
And-
was, but that's another conversation. I enjoyed the film. First off, I'm sorry, I was getting film director school. I enjoyed the film. I enjoy films that have faults as well. Like I can point out their faults and still enjoy it. I thought overall it was boring. Like I wasn't mad at it. I was like, it was good. I give it about a 7. The plot's lazy as fuck. It is a cookie cutter. It's the exact cookie cutter of Multiverse of Madness. Just because we're sads in this film doesn't mean it's not a cookie cutter plot. It is.
No,
It's
yeah,
just
because
there's ads in it, which is
no,
fine.
you made a great point about like Multiverse of Madness being cookie cutter.
Real quick, this is the same. This is the same plot. It's the literal same plot. Girl does something bad, or girl does a thing. Bad guys want to kill her. Coming for good guys.
Okay, well then every superhero movie is a
No,
cookie
I mean,
cutter.
you can
Come
try
on.
to- you can try to
Well, yeah, I
but
mean,
it's
there is
spot
a-
on. It's spot
There is
on.
a
You don't even have
consistent
to-
arc
you
of
don't even
epic
have to
movies.
back up and generalize this movie for it to be that. Like it's specifically the same plot, just rinse and repeat in Wakanda. That's fine. Didn't take away from it. The plot being weak, what I mean is, and the character development, it's lazy. The movie's bloated because we're living in the sadness instead of moving the plot. Which again, it's fine, but that's what it is. There's no character development. Everyone has forced character development in a 2-second moment in the movie. At some point, make that face all you want. Everyone is 100% the same throughout the whole goddamn movie until a magical moment. There's a MacGuffin moment for everybody where all of a sudden, now I'm this, now I'm that, now I'm this. I don't want to say too much spoilers because she hasn't seen it, but everyone has that fucking moment. There's no character arcing at all. You have flat characters that flip.
You have characters that have a catalyst that changes them.
No, you don't. You have lazy writing that just flips them. Like
I
what was
mean-
the, Rob, what was the catalyst for Shuri? She doesn't have one.
Hi, Marcus.
Doesn't have one.
But you could look at like the Matrix. I mean, Neo was lazy
I'm not
and
comparing
worthless
this to any
until
movie. I'm not comparing this to nothing at all. Like I said, I mean, even if you want to point out the cookie cutterness, I'm not even counting that against it. I'm just this movie on its own merits. It isn't whataboutism. It's the movie on its own merits.
okay, that's fine,
Right.
good.
So that's my point. Like, but again, I still give it a 7. I still enjoyed it. I still would never watch it again, though. But there's a lot of movies that I wouldn't watch again. Like nothing that came out this year from Disney would I watch again. I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness. Still wouldn't watch it again. I tried.
Yeah, I have to, but it's just whatever.
I can't. I mean, that's kind of a benchmark for me. Sometimes, if can I watch it again? It is Sometimes I'll get in and I'll try, and I'm like, okay, I got other things to do. I got to move on.
But I'd
There's
hit
a lot
that
of
in there real
movies.
quick. I have to go finish getting Finn ready for school.
There's a lot of
Sorry.
good movies. There's a lot of good movies that I don't necessarily want to rewatch over and over again. But
Yeah, this might be, in my opinion, probably the least rewatchable movie of Phase 4,
Could be.
Look,
just because it's so like somber.
I
You know
will
what?
rewatch Smokey and the Bandit Billy over and over and over and over and over and over again. It doesn't make it a good movie.
That's the way I am with Indiana Jones, the original Indiana Jones.
Crystal Skull.
Fuck, no. You're so stupid. You're the stupidest. We named the dog Indiana.
God, I thought you liked Shia.
Yeah, he's really cool and stable. A stable
Yeah.
genius. Just like
I always thought of you as being
Just
a
like
big Shia
the former
fan,
president.
current, the current, both of
Voldemort.
them.
When I saw
One was more likely to tell you that he was a stable genius than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One's
that's
just
true.
in slow mental decline.
oh god,
The other never really had the mental there in the first place.
No, the other one would forget what he's talking about.
Fucking Jill has to like move him around. Like, no, pull this way. Like, I voted for the dude, but Jesus Christ.
Where you going, Joe?
Can I get somebody who's not already been an AARP
Right.
for 30 years?
An octogenarian? Fuck. Like half a
But see, where are they? I mean, and that's my problem with what we have.
Cryo
today.
chambers. They're in
Yeah.
cryo chambers.
I'm just saying. I mean,
The
like
younger people.
So here's a question,
Younger
straight up,
I think that's what he's
non-comically
saying.
related at all. He can't run again. He can't. He's what, 89 now? He would be like 100.
No, he's not 89.
He's got to be in the late. He's got to be in the
81,
80s.
82.
He was late 70s when he got elected
He was
because
born in the 70s.
No,
He's
no,
79.
he's 79.
He's 79 right now.
Yeah,
In
well,
2
originally.
days, in 2 days, he turns 80.
So
Oh,
originally,
God.
you got to remember,
Happy early
back
birthday,
originally
Joe.
when they talked him into running, he said he wasn't going to run for a second term. Now, of course, that's all changing, but
Yeah.
because originally that was kind of like their whole plan was like, okay, you get him in here, we're going to partner him with Kamala. Kamala will be VP. She'll
Yeah,
get some
that didn't turn out
experience,
so
and
great.
then they
And
could.
have you seen her in
they could-
anything? Anything? Has she
Oh,
been on the
yeah,
news
I've seen plenty
doing
of clips
anything?
with
Dude,
She
I've
can't leave
heard.
the Senate because she has to be in the Senate to cast the vote all the time because
I
it's
get
the-
that. I get that. That's her role. But what I'm getting at is politics is like a perception game, and also like a
Agreed.
public game. You have to be out there. All right.
Well,
So
she
I've
didn't
heard that
exactly.
there's been lots of issues in her like cabinet that people just keep leaving and that she cannot keep people. And there's
And
an
there you
obvious
go.
reason for that. I don't
There
know
was a
what
lot
the
of-
reason
getting at.
is.
There was
They brought her in, but she cannot
Right.
play the
No, it was
game at that
it-
level.
She's
It
not
was
doing
like-
anything, dude.
Yeah, it's like something.
She's no
something
Joe
was there, and
Biden.
they just kind of said, "Hey, okay, fine, we're just going to put you there for now, right?"
Joe Biden was
So,
a kick-ass
I
vice
get it.
president because he was just
Shop is
crazy
right.
and like, hey,
The problem, Shop, is that Gen X we're just too apathetic. I don't know. We like to complain about everything and tell everyone why they're doing it wrong, but
No,
Well,
I'm just saying. Look, if you look at the way things are balancing out, you have to. The midterms are done right now.
Yep.
You have to start stumping. You have to get out there and say, hey, Trump's
feet on
doing
the
it.
ground, bro.
Trump's done it. He said, I'm out there now. And
of course
here's
he is
the thing.
because he wants to use it to try to divert people away from everything else that's going on, and wants to try to use it as reasons why he can't be persecuted.
Indicted. Yeah.
Or
Is it
The
all
like-
money to do it. That's what he's going to take all that money and use it for his legal problems. That's what he's going to
He
do.
already has been.
Yes.
Is it
He's
going to be
got
like
$94 million
MAGA,
sitting in a
like
pot.
again?
Give.
But what I'm getting at is, okay, you have to have somebody out there saying, this is our guy, this is our gal. We're going to put this person forward. This is who we're going to present to the country. This is going to be our person to vote for as president. And they have to start doing it little by little. You don't have to be
Yeah, I
a
agree
massive
with that.
explosion. Little by little, now, not in another year. It has to start
Can
now.
I not? Can I have somebody other than the fucking two?
But that's what I'm saying.
Who would y'all pick
Here's-
for,
you know,
like-
I read something the other day, and I think people don't even get this. I think they just assume it. Once you're the president, you automatically get to run again. No,
No,
that is not a rule. You can go. I mean, the party can go and say,
the
"Hey,
party
man,
picks. Yeah, who they're.
we're gonna have this guy do it because you're peeing in the bed and your handshake and you're 8,000 years old, and we're not sure you're even coherent. Okay, we love you. You were great in the day, but that's not
Well,
it. But
the
my
way-
point is the president is the leader of the party, so he has a lot more pull. So
Well, he-
if I'm in the
Yeah.
party and let's say I go, hey Rob, like we consist of a party committee, all of us right here, and I say, hey Rob,
Mhm.
I'm gonna run for president. I need your support.
Oh, yes.
You're gonna go-
Marcus is here for that.
You're gonna be like, well, you know,
We're talking
shit,
politics. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
no, it's just for a minute. It's just for a minute
No,
because it's
stop
been
it.
on my mind. It's been on my mind because I mean I'm so close to DC, and you can't help but get
Tyler,
some
I'm
of it
running
in.
in the pool.
All right, you can't help but get it. The president can promise you stuff that I couldn't because he's already the leader, and he could say, "Well, Rob, I know you wanted to be on that Ways and Means committee. I got a seat for you coming up in my next term. help me out. And I can't do
Well,
that because I may not, I don't have that kind of
they
juice.
do that anyways. They talk about getting people into, that's the cronyism of the way that the politics is played today.
That's
Yeah.
But
politicking.
but to your point, yes, there's nothing. The president of the United States, if he's eligible for another term, he declares whether or not he wants to be for another term. He can, in for his party, he can then run. Other people can run against him, right? And then the party, then they go through their whole electorate process that they go through within their party at
Yeah.
their convention to vote for who their candidate will be. Now, the standing president has a leg up, just like any incumbent always does, right? Because they've been doing the job, everything else. Everyone else is a newbie, and oftentimes the best people don't want to run against an incumbent who's part term. This is a little bit different this year, potentially, simply because there are questions about age and everything else, and whether or not he would survive another term in office, just from
Too
all that
old. They're both too old. Fuck
Agreed.
both
You
of
have
them.
age limits and
but
term
my-
limits.
But my point
yeah.
continues to be is the problem of the belief that there's a two-party system, and that people limit
Yeah, I hate
themselves
That's
to
what
an
I hate.
A-B decision all the time, that your choice is always the lesser of two evils. The problem is that the political parties, the Republican and Democrat Party, they have over time, they have slowly made inroads in from the state governments all on the way up, that have put systems in place that make it difficult for anybody else to even have a chance to get on a ballot. When you start talking about just to be able to be on the
Libertarian,
when you look
green.
what you talked about like recently, just to be able to be part of the presidential debate, right? That debate, which is supposedly used to be done by the League of Women's Voters, the League of Women's Voters abandoned the debate because it became super partisan and the two political parties took over. Well, now this quote unquote independent third party that runs the presidential debate is made up by appointed members from the Republican and Democratic parties. They're put systems in place that limit thresholds that are unattainable for some third parties to even get on the stage, to the point where everybody gets fed this belief, well, if you don't vote for red or blue, then you're just wasting your vote. And the news media perpetuates that same conversation, which then takes to an electorate who doesn't take the time to get informed information, and instead simply just reads the sound bites and takes the sound bites and says, oh, I got to vote red or blue, those are my only choices, and then they go along with it. It's just self-fulfilling on this whole thing.
I'm
And
still hoping for the Whig Party to come back.
I don't. It doesn't. There needs to be something. We need more something in the middle that's more choice and representation.
I love
big-
the third party pipe dream. It's been alive for so
Well,
long, and it's a pipe dream, guys.
Here's what it is.
It is. It just
The
sucks.
Prospero here.
if
Something
you-
to say about this.
The system that you have today, because of the way that's when it's set up, one party is in power. They try to push their agenda, right? The other party, all they do is put up as many roadblocks as possible, and you get to an ultra state day where neither parties will even allow their party members to caucus with members from the other party anymore. It's just us versus them. Can we ram through our agenda? Can we tear down their old agenda until it's our turn? Whatever. If you have a situation where there is a third party, doesn't even I'm not even saying like just from a congressional standpoint. If a Congress doesn't have to, you don't even have to be 30%, just enough. Like in this particular situation where we have barely 50%, where you have barely 50% either way.
Try to keep it
State
civil,
trust.
Mike.
You get a group that's in there that's like 10% is independent or a third party or whatever. No one party has the majority that can sit there and run everything. Instead, now you have to come together and start to have conversations cross political beliefs, and you start to actually do what politics is supposed to do,
Right.
which is
Work
actually
together.
have conversations, cross lines,
together.
and come up with compromises. Compromises has become a bad word in politics today. And it's not a bad word. Compromising is how you get things done when you're on two different sides of a
right.
It
You
depends
know,
on who you're compromising with.
Here's the thing. We had well, we're about to lose him. I loved the governor we had these last two terms. Governor Hogan. I mean, look, I'm a
Hulk
I don't know how
Hogan?
to. I'm a yeah, right. I mean, I'm a moderate, or no, I guess you would say I'm a moderate. Okay, I'm fiscally conservative,
Social
but
liberal.
social liberal. And he was a Republican governor that I voted for twice, and I think he got more done, especially during COVID. He went out on his own and went to South Korea and said, "Hey, we're gonna buy the test kits from you, even though the federal government hasn't done it yet. We're doing it now for Maryland." And he bought like I don't know 150,000, which isn't a lot, but when it first started, that was a big deal.
Your governor is a real fucking leader, though. Like he really no. I have a lot of respect for that behavior.
But see, the problem is
that Maryland?
Yeah, they wanted I think
I like
people
that guy.
wanted him to run, but I think he's done. I think he said, "I'm done. I'm happy to do my 2 terms," because he also battled cancer and he's in remission and everything. But if he was
It's
healthy,
stressful too, man. This is a stressful ass job.
If he was healthy, I swear I'd be like, dude, you gotta run because but he wouldn't win. He wouldn't win. You know why? Because he's willing to compromise, like Rob said, and that's what nobody wants anymore. They want only their platform.
Or
That's the
extremes.
problem.
There's extremes these days, and it's going to end up, being something catastrophic. But
We're gonna end up being in debt forever. I know that. Hey, comics. Here you go, lady.
Yeah,
Put that away, Jim. Put that
I don't
away.
give a fuck. about this politics.
This is signed by Justin's dad, Greg LaRoque, who did the cover. That's awesome.
Hot take chaos.
Herschel Walker is here.
Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker's running on that pro werewolf platform. You got to take a look at it.
Comics.
Yeah,
guys?
just
What up? What up?
yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
So okay, here's the left, and here's the right, and here's the political machine that operates them both.
Doom.
Dr. Doom.
The left and the right are arms of the same creature. That's what we've got to realize, and like we can't expect any of those bodies to regulate themselves. They're not trustworthy. So like we have to pass legislation, which I don't know how that's going to happen, but we've got to fucking regulate Congress. Here's the thing. This is what I wish we could do. We either give the army or give the military the healthcare benefits that Congress gets, or we give Congress the healthcare benefits that the army gets, because they're deserving on both levels. You want to say, fucking either strip the goddamn Congress of their shit and see what it's really like to have to work for this government, to serve this government, or you give the army the actual healthcare they deserve and fucking take care of our people.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a senator makes a year?
Like 187,000 or some
Yeah,
shit.
it's like 179. But I mean, that's not bad money. That's not bad money.
I wouldn't complain.
Yeah, I'd
Now-
buy a house with it.
Yeah, but now they'll argue that they also have to have 2 residences and
Don't give a fuck.
you
Don't
know
want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
all that shit. But a lot of them, I mean, HBO did a whole show on it. Remember with John Goodman in them, where I think it was, where they all put in together and got a house and were living together. I'm sure a lot of them do that now.
No, it is.
Like-
That's what the Federalist Society has a building where they house them all.
I'm just saying that's
You kind of have to do that because it's so expensive.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. It's based on practicality, and a lot of them will just like get free rent from lobbyists that own places in DC. And they'll just like,
one of the coolest books I ever read was, and I loaned it to somebody and never got it back, was it talked about what the president has to pay for and what he doesn't. You know what I mean? And so like, he has to pay.
Just to pay for blowjobs.
He has to pay. I mean,
not if you're Clinton.
he has to pay. He doesn't have to pay for state dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if he called and said, "Hey, Lady Fantastic, you want to come over
Yeah,
and watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
Super Bowl?" He has to pay for that. I think it was even something stupid like, I remember it said he has to pay for laundry service or something dumb. I don't know. I thought that was weird. But there's a lot of stuff that he does have to pay for that, is not fronted by the government.
Yeah.
Check this out.
What you got?
Is it the final?
Yeah, I got it from the Comic Mint. I just thought that was the most beautiful cover.
I got one. I'm not sure if it's a variant, but I got a really cool one too.
And then I couldn't help it. I got both.
That's not political.
No, this is number 214.
No,
it was only
it's
800.
most political. It's very divisive, and I don't appreciate you
Can
fucking
be.
us up with shit.
Get out of here, Jim.
I'm out.
Quit ruining
I'm
it.
out. I mean, look, Dormammu's kid, and then the one that Dormammu is trying to recruit.
Ava, is that her name? Ava.
Yeah, no,
can't remember.
Emily Bright. That's her name,
Okay.
Emily Bright. But how do you hook up with Dormammu's kid?
You like the bad boys?
I mean, he's on fire. How do you make out?
Put on fireproof mask or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or
Maybe
tell
your
them to
fire.
find
Maybe
out.
your firestorm. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe you have one of those fancy foil suits like the firefighters wear.
First
Marcus.
Council of Reeds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marcus, were your ears burning? I was talking about you last night, brother.
Oh, were you saying nice things?
I was. I always
Probably
do. I said we had Brian LCS on the hot seat last night, and
I caught the first part of it. Yeah.
yeah, and at some point I was like, there was nobody championing you more than Marcus. At one point,
Yeah, I
I
was
think
there
that
for
was
that
his
one.
sole platform.
It
And I
was.
was like, look, Mama's calling. You better get out there. won't
My
come.
kids are going to school.
You better get out there.
No, I really love the celebration of this community. And like I've said many times, I didn't give a fuck about it last year at all. I was people were mad, people were excited. I didn't care either way. But
About
I actually
what?
turned about the Comic Book Community Awards.
Yeah.
But I turned it on last year after the fact, and I just watched it, and I just really enjoyed the atmosphere that Brian built in terms of celebrating this community, bringing in people who I didn't know, who creators coming in, trying to be funny. Not all of it was funny, but they were trying, and it was just a good vibe, and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to see more of it.
I like that little
Brian-
cheap
Try.
Not all.
Brian-
Not all funny.
Brian's sense of humor is completely different than mine.
Yeah.
To me, it's very cringe.
Yeah, it wasn't all funny, definitely. But
The-
I love
the opening
vibe
is
and
what-
the energy.
what got me.
Beginning. The
Yeah,
opening.
yeah. Oh, I hated that. That was my least favorite part.
Shut up.
I didn't get the opening because he was doing a William Shatner bit, and I actually wasn't
Yeah.
aware of it. So I didn't get it as much as I should have.
I was like, this is like an old Saturday Night Live throwback. So
Have you guys ever seen William Shatner cover Rocket Man?
Yes.
It's amazing.
No, I'll have to
He
check
did it
that
for
out.
like a sci-fi awards thing back in the 70s, and he sang Rocket Man, and he does like a dramatic interpretation. And it's so fucking amazing. You need to Google or go to YouTube and just type in William Shatner Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
It's amazing. Your life's gonna be changed. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, Legion, I did love Wakanda, and actually people hating on Wakanda kind of triggers me. So I've been working on not giving a fuck about it because it's stupid to care, but I've been like, why are you hating on this movie?
No, I'm like that
Yeah.
too because I really love T'Challa and Black Panthers, but I can't say anything until I see it. So.
Yeah. I haven't seen
Okay.
it.
I really enjoyed it. It was definitely the best Phase 4 movie. I thought it was just slightly better than Black Adam. But I would say that there were problems. Like, it wasn't a perfect movie, but overall I really enjoyed it, especially the introduction of Namor. That was really cool. And I'm excited for what it sets up coming next. I thought M'Baku was awesome. I thought Namor was awesome.
God, I
thought
wish he was
Dude.
more.
Namor was great.
M'Baku's the best.
M'Baku is awesome.
M'Baku was probably the best. Yes, I
Do you
enjoyed
think
Oh.
it.
Namor will get his own movie?
I would love it.
No,
No, I don't think he needs to. I
I'd be shocked.
think he can continue to play roles as we move forward with.
It would be good to see him in
More
Fantastic
stuff in-
Four stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean there could be some stuff with Doom. There'd be some stuff potentially, but more
Hulk.
importantly, it's going to be the stuff. The next phase of the Wakanda stuff is set up where, as we continue this concept of trying to take resources, and now that they've formed, the way they left the movie.
Legion, I disagree. I think it's dumb to get mad or to care if someone doesn't like something that you like, or if someone likes something you don't like. It's dumb to care about those things. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
He likes the debate. That's what it is. He's talking about. He just likes the debate.
It's just
like John.
Though.
John's the same way. Those two are exactly alike. John will debate you on all.
I used to like debating, but now I feel like we're in an era where it just doesn't fucking matter.
Now he likes master debating.
I'm a big fan of that one, actually.
She got you, Marcus. She burned you. Right
Since
there.
13. I discovered the 13, and I was like, whoa, this is how it works. Yeah.
A Fear of Pop CD signed by Shatner. That's amazing.
Oh, man.
God. William Shatner, honestly, you think he's a flake or a wild man, and then he makes this profound statement about going to space and feeling empty and sad and looking at how fragile the human race is and how close we are to destroying each other. And I'm like, is this motherfucker a sage? Like,
it took him going to space to figure that out?
Depressing.
Yes. But it was just really poignant. Just because he was next to Bezos the douchebag in like a fucking cowboy hat. And he's just like, I'm taking a dick to space.
That's why I hate politics, because it's like, for me, like arguing in politics used to be about growth. It used to be about learning, but now it's just about winning. And I hate it. It's not about being right. It's about winning. All right. I got to tell my wife.
It's not even about representing the people you're supposed to represent. It's just representing your party.
Citizens United. No, it's about corporations paying politicians, and the legislations that the corporations want gets put first in priority over that of the best interests of the constituents.
Well,
and that's
party first. Party first. Contributor second.
Nation first. Not party first.
No, that's how it is.
He's saying that's how it goes.
It's party first.
We understand what it should be.
Second. Nation third. Nation third. And then the people. That's how they do it today.
Lady Fantastic, what are your what's your gauge of term limits? I mean, like, you want to hear mine? If you're in the Senate, you're in the Senate for 6 years. And I believe you should have no more than two terms. If you can't get your shit done in 12 years, time to go.
You're useless.
Now the House is harder because you don't have as long a time. You have 4 years, but I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot harder, but so I would give them more time. I would give you more opportunity because you have to run more than you do in the Senate. I mean, they're just like two different animals, and I never understood why we
politicians don't really have that much stamina to run very fast.
Right. Yeah, so it shows senators is 6 years, House members 2 years.
Right, House members 2 years.
I think, you know what? You should just maybe 1 term limit for the senator. Okay, maybe 2. But then the House, you need to at least give them the chance to do like maybe 3 term limits, right? 6 years.
I would say 4 myself, me personally.
2 term limits.
Yeah, 4. Because they get in there, they have to jockey for a position. If you're a new senator from wherever, they're not just going to give you a prime seat at anything that you may want. Like, let's say your state really needs roads, but that committee is already full. You have to fight to get in that committee so that you can get things done in your state to make the roads. Then you got to go and run again. Well, you're going back to your constituents going, well, get me in there 1 more year. I think I can make it because I didn't give you any new roads like I said I would. Are they going to do that? Probably not. So it's harder in the House. I would not want to be a House member. Screw that.
All right, we're going to play a game, and it's going to transition us from politics into comics.
Okay.
All of you have to tell me who in the entire comic realm
Trump
for president.
I
thought
that's not where I thought.
You got to pick a comic character Who would
Okay.
be the best comic character
I thought you were
president?
going to say what former president would look best in a Spider-Man costume. That's why. I
Oh,
Trump.
yeah, it's definitely Trump. But
But your
What
question,
comic character?
yeah, I would say, man, Iron Man's not bad because Tony's got
He's
charisma.
drunk all the no.
Well, you know,
No, he's recovered alcohol.
What's wrong with
He's recovered
drinking?
alcohol.
so was Nixon, but you know, it didn't matter. Let's see. I
Steve
think
Rogers, baby.
I was thinking Richard Reed
Apparently
Richards.
he flirted momentarily with the enemy as Hail Hydra stuff. But I mean, dude's all about country first.
What do you think about Reed Richards?
I would
You think
say
he's too
Iron Man
altruistic?
or Reed Richards or yeah, I don't
Well,
like the thought
actually,
of
we know.
Flash
Oh, you know what?
Thompson.
We forgot. We overlooked it. It should be Speedball. Sorry.
No, gold balls.
Lex
Gold
has
balls.
proven it. Yeah, he's saying Lex Luthor because Lex Luthor's proven it already in
evil.
Or Doom.
My favorite question that
Come on,
Beckerman
Doom.
asks is how high can he bounce? I love that question.
Yeah.
Like it
so
matt's
why wouldn't you want the bounciest hero of them all to be your president?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I choose Plastic Man.
There you go.
For president,
He don't bounce higher than Speedball.
because that way he could.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, Speedball is
Plastic.
a living
Plastic Man-
ambassador of the kinetic force.
How about Bouncing Boy? What if they went up against each other? Who would bounce higher? Bouncing Boy or Speedball?
All right, my computer's messing up, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Boo.
Just when we get into the important questions.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
technically,
man,
Muhammad Ali was a comic character, right? Prime Muhammad Ali.
It doesn't say much anymore.
Muhammad Ali would not be a good president.
No, Prime Muhammad Ali.
But what?
I don't know. I don't
He's a
Maybe
remember.
when he was
boxer.
Cassius Clay.
There was Rodimus Prime and Optimus Prime. I don't remember Muhammad Al Prime.
We already tried
Beyonder.
bodybuilder as a governor for California. That didn't work.
Soundwave.
I think the Beyonder would be a great
There you
leader.
go. Optimus Prime for president.
Beyonder.
Didn't Schwarzenegger get reelected? I mean, kind of worked, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again this year?
It was
No.
California.
No.
though, right?
No, he's
Does
done
that
now.
count?
He did 2 terms.
Yeah.
Does California count really though?
Count for what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Counts
There
more
was-
than most of the country, actually.
It just counts for most of our economy.
Yeah.
Which is
But does
Only
it
the-
really
it's-
though?
As a state,
Yes.
it's only the 7th largest economy in the world.
Yeah, it's got
I
an
mean,
economy larger than Italy.
That's
bro.
all technical mumbo jumbo, but
You're
does
right.
it?
You're right.
well, I thought we were talking politics. Like it all comes down to money.
Ben
I
is
mean,
right. Compton
yeah.
has the best answer. Captain
I'm
America.
glad I
is
don't
the
have the
best
right to
answer.
choose anymore
The
because
only problem
women.
with Captain America for me is that I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have
He's not willing to bend to go into the gray areas that you need to go into to get.
Yeah, he's
Well,
black and white. It's,
but not
Arnold?
just that,
Oh,
but
Ben,
he's
Captain
more at
America.
the soldier level and not at the general level where they're thinking long, 20 moves ahead.
Captain America is a
that's-
shallow, vanilla, plain Jane, boring ass motherfucker.
but
Disagree.
okay, but we're looking at you asked the question who you in the comic book world who would be
So
a
by
good
that
president.
matter, you want
He'd be a
Batman.
good Boy Scout leader. Like he could do
Digger
it.
Jim wants
Captain,
Batman.
Captain America appeals to our better angels, and that's exactly what we need right now.
I'm cool with
It's the
Batman.
thought of Batman. I really am not because I think Bruce Wayne has a higher level IQ than
Such a
Captain
whiny
America would.
bitch.
But he
The
does.
problem, he'd want to do everything by himself.
He's like Elon Musk. He's just a rich whiny bitch.
See, Bruce Wayne would be an
Elon is killing me.
He
man.
would try to
I
pull us
hate
out.
that dude.
Just take Batman for a second. He wants to do everything by himself.
I don't hate him. I just don't
He-
understand why he's so
he would
thin and
be-
skinny.
I can't
An
stand him.
isolationist that would pull us out of all of our international things and try to go America first. Yeah, that's what Bruce Wayne would be.
I can't
has
do
anybody
ice-
picked a villain yet?
I think somebody said
Or-
Lex.
Somebody
Yeah,
said
Lex
what?
Luthor.
Okay,
I mean,
okay,
and he's
okay.
right. Lex Luthor's already been the president in the shows and I guess in the comics too. But I mean,
Elon for the win. You guys know, like he's not a self-made man. He inherited a fucking emerald
Swamp
mine.
Thing for president, the ultimate Green New Deal. There you go.
I like it. I'm
Now, I
down.
might
for
be
that.
down for that.
Inheritance is
Yeah.
Swamp
kind of
Thing and then
self-made.
Man Thing. Those two, because they would have the green. They could take us into a place with sustainable, renewable energy.
There you go. Well, they would, and if you didn't join, they'd melt you down.
Right, but they could just touch shit and it would turn to fire.
How
you
about
need
Black
cows?
Panther for president?
He would be pretty
He's
good.
not. He can't. He's not born in
It
America.
would be tough. We'd have
The
to
Constitution
change
will
the
allow
You got a
laws.
good point. He was not born in America.
He is
He can't
But-
run.
If you
That doesn't
don't give me that. This is a fictional argument.
But it's still bound by the
I'm with
restrictions of the
Kyle.
Constitution.
Does he pay his
Possible.
taxes?
You can get
Well,
behind
we
the
wouldn't
Swamp
know.
Thing
We
as
don't have.
president.
Apparently, we don't have to show our tax returns anymore. So
the thing, old Blue Eyes for president.
Oh,
There you
cool.
go.
That's nice.
I'm interested to see the tax returns of Swamp Thing and Man Thing. Because
I'm allergic to taxes.
I'd like to know their expenditures and who they've been finagling with.
all I know is I'd vote for somebody who's up for the green.
Swamp Thing?
We made that legal here in Maryland.
Oh yes, Jay Hood. Jay
And
Hood.
Missouri, baby.
His thing is
Noise.
Jack Kirby. He
Right
wins
across the
president for life.
border.
My guy across the
what's that?
street has plants, and I told him save me one because I'm gonna put it next to my tomato plant next in the spring. I'm gonna grow me a stem and see if I can make it work. And then I'm going to figure out how to. I'm gonna get my wife to. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna get my wife to put them in brownies. She's a hell of a baker. I'm sure we can figure. I have a book.
That'd be
of it. I
fun,
gotta-
man. It'd
Yeah.
be fun to try
Yeah.
and figure that out.
There's plenty
Now-
of YouTube videos that show you how to do it.
Yeah. Now, if it gets to a point at work where I'm done, that's gonna be my
All I
my
know is I'm
end
going
game.
to Digger Jim's kids' bake sale for their school.
No, I'm gonna go to work and just leave piles of brownies lying around and be like, well, I know it's my last day of work and I just wanted to leave with a bang. Here you
It's
go,
a-
people.
Kyle and I are sitting here thinking it's adorable that you guys are just now getting it legal.
Right? I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
This is what I like to say: is I don't do drugs. I just smoke pot.
There you go.
Well, do you drink caffeine? Caffeine's a drug.
It's worse
Absolute.
than pot. It's more
It is a
addictive than
drug.
pot.
Absolute. It is.
I'm addicted
I am-
to caffeine.
I am
Hell yeah.
critically addicted to caffeine.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
working
I'm saying.
science.
Forget
Most
addiction.
everybody in science is an
I-
addict for caffeine.
When I go to visit my doctor and they always ask the question like, "Do you do any drugs or anything else?" I go, "Well, I have a caffeine addiction. I have a caffeine addiction problem, or abuse problem." Is what I said. I have a caffeine.
That
abuse
shit is
problem.
real. That is
And he
so
goes-
real.
He goes, "What do you define as
kill you."
abuse?" And I said, "Well, I do 8 to 10 cups of coffee in the morning, and then in the evening,
Damn, Kyle,
Brother,
where you
Tear my
going?
stomach up.
I thought
my
I was bad.
I'm going to my storage unit.
and there's the stuff you drink in the evening and everything else." And he's just like, "Oh, okay." He says, "Well, are you putting cream and sugar in it?" I said, "No, I drink it black." And he goes, "Oh, well, if you can take the caffeine, then knock yourself out."
That's what
So
the
you're
doctor will say.
I like a little bit of coffee in my creamer.
Rob's been getting on me about the mystery box, so I'm heading to my storage unit right now. I'm
Yes.
gonna make it.
Nice. Nice.
I'm gonna bump it up to 2.5 times your value,
Woot.
What up, comic vet?
Chris.
Where's
and
Beast
it's
Wars?
current value. So like as stuff dropped, it actually
as
bumped,
opposed to
like,
the
4.
July's value. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
exactly. I think
I
you're fine either way.
All right, now we have to pick out. I know you guys realize that females are dumb, but you guys, we have to pick out a
What?
female,
No, I love females.
female comic.
I
character.
choose to live my life with one all
I
the
didn't
time.
want to be the one to say it.
I know you, but like we're not. We're like kind of like 2/5 of a man. You know,
I don't know. Well,
Jesus
not in this household, but
Oh
Um,
Lord.
I think Jean Grey would be a good but she seems more like UN material than
Right.
she's more diplomatic on that
Right.
Secretary of State.
international scale.
Yeah,
She
could be
can go
good
out on my
Secretary
world
of State.
stage and she can have my negotiations
Oh
by
yeah,
knowing what everyone else is thinking.
What's
You
Oh,
know-
that?
man, I gotta
Oh my
I
goodness!
need to
Look
come
at
up
this
with
man.
the meme today, guys. Shit.
Sweatshirt and a jacket.
Chris,
That
I
was
thought you were about to
nice.
pull out something out of your chest right there.
Oh, look at that! He went to Timmy's.
Got the Tim
Nice.
Hortons.
Are
I
they
just gotta let-
Christmas in
I'm gonna-
Canada?
What's that?
Are
They
you
have
in
Christmas
Boston?
Canada?
No, I'm in hell. This
Yeah,
is what we
let's
call
see
it.
it. Nice. At least you're not in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Tim is
And upstate New York's got it a shit ton of snow right now. My mom
Yeah,
was there.
Buffalo, man. Oh my God, they're supposed to get like 6 feet. That's insane.
Yeah,
6
she's up in
feet?
Corning, which is like close to Ithaca.
It's all your fault,
TM
Chris.
says he's having some Tim Horton with you.
I'm at Tim
yeah.
Hortons.
They
on
came out with their new mugs, or pardon me, their new cups. There's no place like Tim's. Like, this makes me want to throw up looking at anything that has snow written on it.
I just got a Link Squad, baby.
I hate it. Hate it.
I have Costco mug.
Oh, just to let you guys know what my passenger for the next little bit's going to be. My snow brush.
I'm from LA. What's snow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed it to you just a second ago. You weren't paying attention.
What's funny?
I saw
Kyle, it's
some
a certain
stuff
level of
outside.
hell.
Okay.
What's funny about that statement, though, is that you'll notice that Kyle is dressed almost the same as Chris the comic vet, as far as like being prepared for cold weather, and
this is a towel.
It's probably like 65 degrees where Fahrenheit where Kyle
Okay.
is.
Well, I need to combat this, so give me a second. I'll show you what I'm actually wearing. You guys are going to get a kick out of it. It'll take me a second now. To get back upstairs.
Yeah, you're wearing a towel instead of a jacket over a hoodie.
No, no, you'll see what I'm wearing.
You're wearing a knit cap, though.
So
Although
Chris,
Chris has grown out his winter hair.
Heat loss is from your head. That's the only reason the hat's there.
I saw where Chris and Kelly announced November 26th is the big day.
Is it?
That's what it said on Instagram.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, they're opening.
They're opening back up. So
God, that could have meant so many things. I was
yeah
on the edge of my seat.
That's true.
I was like,
I didn't do that well.
Like, wow,
it was funny
big
at
news,
first.
Bigger Jim's about to break.
Well, I got really confused at first because Chris, are you dating somebody else? I didn't know. I forgot. Completely. Wait a second, Chris and Kelly. That's
Kelly.
not right. And it was like, oh wait.
It says save the date, November 26th. I'm assuming that's they're opening back up. Support small business. There
Yeah,
you
it'd
go.
be the hard opening, the grand opening versus their
Who's
soft
Chris and
opening.
Kelly?
So,
Sue Storm.
Retro Rocket Comics.
Retro
The
Rocket.
president?
Oh, cool.
That's a great John Byrne cover right there.
Yeah.
Look.
Okay. See if I can do this real fast.
I feel like they didn't. I mean,
You're not gonna say it's gonna great.
Oh, wow, that is a lot of comics.
oh no, I love John Byrne. No, I'm talking
yeah.
about Sue Storm for president. I'm trying to debate that in my head. Are you
kidding,
kidding, Lady Fantastic?
What's that?
I am a mega John Byrne fan.
That's half of it.
What about
That is impressive.
Agatha Harkness for president? Look at Circumstance's face. He was like,
You'd have a great.
If something
song.
goes wrong, you can blame her, right?
I know.
Yeah, just give
Oh,
crazy
Richards.
bitch.
Franklin Richards. He can do anything, literally.
That's true. That could be
Wow.
his slogan.
What is Kyle doing?
Kyle was showing what he was wearing.
I'm wearing.
He looks like he's ready to go rock climbing.
I'm wearing a fanny pack, a Superman T-shirt, and booty shorts that say "Variant" on the back.
Short
Nice.
shorts. By today's standards, yeah.
What have I walked into
about
here?
I will never unsee that. Oh my God.
She-Hulk for president?
The last con that I went to, they're selling booty shorts, and they're all comic themed. So I was like, "Heck yeah, give me some."
I think She-Hulk could be a
That
good
wouldn't have
attorney
been my
general.
reaction, but
Yeah.
Sure.
Or chief of
happy
staff.
Kyle.
Just as long as it's the She-Hulk from the comics and not from the TV show.
Clearly.
Look at those legs. Oh, and I got a Overwatch socks on.
Woo! It's a lot.
The best part is everyone's smiling right now.
It is a lot.
I'm
Look,
so
I'm from
happy.
California, and I'm just
We're confused.
Well,
So they don't get
they're
sun in
saying that it was like,
California.
The fanny pack.
yeah.
Haven't seen legs
It's,
like that.
it's my-
in Vietnam.
My utility bag. Hey, these are legs that are crafted by rollerblades. These things are.
you know what we do most. Instead of a fanny pack, I just wear cargo shorts, man.
They were a thing.
But then again, I am old.
I can't believe fanny packs came back into style.
They never came back into style. I don't know.
I'm not sure
Where
they
else
came
are you
back.
gonna
I
put
think
your
I'm just
stuff?
wearing it.
Dude, I got a friend that works in my lab, and she wears a fanny pack and thinks she's fucking cool as hell. I'm just like, all right,
maybe
dude.
female, but guys wearing them,
Uh,
especially right over their balls, is not a.
Oh,
I don't think I'm cool. I just don't have any pockets in my booty shorts.
I respect a man wearing a fanny pack because that is screaming, I don't give a fuck what you think, and I respect that shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Say,
not
I'm
sure
not
whether
a
I'm not
man.
sure whether I'm more in favor of a fanny pack or a man carrying a satchel.
Okay.
Indiana
Oh,
Jones
nice.
wore one.
Man
Yeah.
purse.
That's really what it is. But yeah, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and call it a satchel.
I beg to differ, Miss.
I liked seeing, you remember the good old school dads, and they would just have a big ass fanny pack, but they would have the white shoes with the white socks and like tan shorts. That's like solid. That's what it's supposed
New
to be.
Balance shoes. The New Balance
New
shoes.
Balance, white New Balances,
Yeah.
white socks pulled up to the shins, fanny pack,
Crew socks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Maybe just like a
gosh.
polo shirt, just ready to go to Disney World and slay it.
Sure. With a
Yeah.
with
If
a
you
little
have
sweater.
enough swag, you can pull off anything.
Yeah, there you go.
Walk in like you own the place.
Yep.
All right, Flash Ray. I would have never suspected that fanny packs were back, but whatever.
Here you go.
I'm gonna get you some swag, Rob.
Lady Fantastic, check it.
Good man. Good
That's
man.
that I bought that as soon as they got the Amazon card one year for Christmas. I went online and was like, all right, look, I can
Let me
buy
see.
this one
Show me the spine.
and George Perez, the spine.
Yeah,
do you
I
mean?
just want to see how big it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
They're
I
it's
feel like
called the
you say that
modern
regularly.
Masters. This is volume 2. This was George Perez, and then this one was John Burns, and it has some great art and story in it. Because they can tell you stuff that they probably aren't going to tell you, and it's a nice interview book too.
Hey, Mark, did you see my outfit?
I didn't. I was
You
listening.
gotta,
I wasn't watching because I was driving.
you gotta back up and watch that shit.
Maka.
That's okay. I'll pass.
I think John Burns still writing X-Men fan fiction. Go to his website. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off of here because I feel like it's my responsibility for making all the politics talk. I don't know
Wait,
why.
but what was your other
That was,
question?
that was on circumstances. Definitely on circumstances. That's his go-to.
Personally, I enjoy having you on the panel.
I did
Me too.
I try to
Not me.
bring my feminine wiles.
Oh, is that what it was? I missed that part.
Prove to
Just
you
keep in
that
mind,
we
like,
are.
if you showed up and you co-signed me and Rob's BS, so we appreciate you being here.
I liked read along. Read along.
Yeah,
thing.
that was
Yeah,
I
we
like
need to do
that.
one of those
We
for
need
sure.
that.
That would be
I'll do a
fun.
fucking read along, man. I like doing characters. It's a lot of drama. There's a lot of drama. We need to pick out a great
That's a
book to
good
do
one
it.
right
though.
there, Marcus. Wasn't that a gift?
That's a banger.
Beckerman.
Or
Beckerman.
hear me out on this one, Lady F.
Yeah, I know your
We
body.
need to find a bad book to do it.
Exactly. That makes it better.
Vampirella.
Young Justice.
Before you leave, what was your other question?
I can't remember.
I think it
Did I
had to
have a
do with
question
like
for you?
That's not a question.
no. It was like lazy characters for president.
Oh, yeah. My question was just like, what lady would
Medusa.
you, choose in the comics realm for president?
Erica Slaughter.
And I think
This country would be on meth if Erica
None.
Slaughter.
It's a man's.
Yeah,
sport.
I was gonna say not so much.
I'd say Medusa from the Inhumans would be a good one.
I think she would be good with international relations.
Yeah, I think she just would be a good leader anyways. She's around it,
Yeah.
she's a leader.
She could just freeze out all competition.
My vote is still Plastic Man. I don't assume genders, even though it's in his name.
But it's now he's now plastic them.
It's Plastic them. Let's go.
All right,
Just plastic.
my microplastic ass is out.
Awesome.
You
Awesome. Thank
guys
for
be
coming.
safe. Be good. I'm
Appreciate
good.
you.
Hey,
as always.
we're all 2% microplastic.
All right.
You're horrible, Mark.
Here's a question, serious question. When Plastic Man dies, do they bury him or recycle him?
Depends upon what
Ooh,
state you're in.
is there a CRV
Depends on if
value?
you hate the planet.
What recycling bin would he go into?
Right. Maybe they turn him into a recycling
What
bin.
number plastic is he? Because
Is he
it's really
biodegradable?
not all plastic is recyclable.
Is it the Hope mark or is it the normal like CRV?
Then, of course, the question is also: how clean is he? Does he have biomatter attached to him? Because the plastic, if it's contaminated, it can't be recycled.
Oh yeah, Plastic Man does have a criminal record. He was a
Kind of his
criminal.
origin.
If he was
at
born in
birth.
the United States, that's really all we care about. We don't care about the criminal record part. I said
Okay.
Black Panther, and we immediately said no.
That's true.
But we don't care about the criminal record.
Yeah,
Just
was he
if you were
convicted?
born in
Did
the
he do
U.S.
time? I don't remember seeing him in jail or anything in any of the books. Mark, now I gotta.
Does
put
he
this
own
on my
any
damn
failing
poll.
casinos?
I read it this morning. I was like, son of a dog. Now I gotta go put that on my poll.
You know, when there's stuff that you just don't skip, it's when Jeff Johns is creating an interior like universe, pretty much.
That's what John said. He was like, "You're gonna like this. You're gonna." He's not wrong, and I was like, So, well, that's Kyle's weapon of choice.
So Rob is getting a croquet mallet. Did you steal a hammer from the clown car?
Does
Love
that make
he's
those
using-
squeaky noise when you hit
It's
it?
like he's using the elevator as extra storage because
Just
there's
squeaky
comic
toys.
boxes left in the elevator going up and down. And
So
I'm making a lot of noise, so my mic is muted. That's the whole thing.
Oh, that's
We
fine.
appreciate that.
The main LCS that I use, he moved to a bigger building on the out parts of town, and I don't like driving all the way out there. So he has a small one in the city, and that's where I go pick up my books. And I swear to you, he just doesn't. It's like he doesn't get it. I was like, dude, because I went in and I said, do you have any long boxes or anything like that? Any short boxes, long boxes? And he's like, no, they're up at the main branch. And I'm like, can't you at least bring like 5 of them down here? I mean, if you have the room, I mean, and he's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit him in the car. Maybe, maybe in a couple of weeks. I'm like, I would pay you. And, it just seemed, it's like he's arguing over, do you want money?
Gotta go back to work, boys. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, for real? You're gonna argue with me about bringing some down? I was gonna, I'm good for it. I don't know. Some of these guys, I don't think they know how to run a business.
Or they're just busy.
Yeah, but if you're, you got enough people, and he looks like he does. Every time I go in there, there's a new person working in there.
Could be oversight.
Yep, I love that. That was a good one. I read Junkyard Joe. That was good. I still need to read Blade. I haven't read Blade.
There's a new Blade comic.
Yeah, this one. It's. I bought it just because I want to see what they do with it, and I love the Inyok Lee cover. So, what else did I read? Where are all my books?
What's the next comic book movie? Is it Quantumania?
Shazam.
Yeah,
Shazam or Quantumania, one of the two. Those two, I think, are close together.
those are the each big company's next one on the docket. How's that?
I'm excited for both of those. I like the first Shazam.
Yeah, I like the first Shazam too. It was good.
First Shazam wasn't too bad, but this one hasn't. I don't know,
It is
there's
really- I
something.
don't-
There's something about the way that the
Fire me
trailer
up.
has been presented. It just hasn't excited me.
Yeah, I don't
I
get
hope they
What's
get
the
Black Adam
guy's-
in there.
I think it
What's
fit.
his name? What's the actor's name?
Zachary Levi.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. I mean, I enjoyed Shazam, but it just didn't. It didn't like. I thought it was good. It just didn't give me that like. That little spark I get when something just really excites me. And it just didn't do that for me.
Yeah, Shazam was good, but I think it's not in the, to me, it's not in the same realm, and I don't think they filmed it or made it that way as like Superman, like Man of Steel.
No, God, no.
They were like two different things.
There's parts of it that I thought were just like when he jumps off the building at the end and says Shazam and takes off, like that part. I'm like, holy shit,
That was dope.
Then when him and Savannah are fighting and they're up in the sky and Savannah starts monologuing and you see Shazam looking all serious and goes, wait, what? what? Like that shit killed me.
You're too far away.
Are you talking?
See, that,
will
I like
crush you.
funny. I like funny, and
Yeah.
Shazam was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Shazam was funny.
works for that one because again they're kids, but at the same time that's kind of the thing that I don't necessarily dislike it about Captain Marvel, but it kind of just I think they've leaned into it a little heavy, which I get why. I mean, otherwise he's just a carbon copy character, You got to do something to make him his own, and
Well, they
it's
got
been like
Lucy,
that for a while. But I don't know.
Lucy Liu and
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren. Thank you. I couldn't
Thinking
think of her
like
name.
Helen
I'm
Mirren's
sorry.
playing Fury. That could be the play on the title Fury of the Gods. And if she is, she's attached to like Dr. Fate's lore and everything. So you can see some potential connectivity that could be
Crossover.
too heavily, like how he pointed out he has Black Adam there. Maybe Stinger, I want it to be a Shazam movie still with just a stinger. I don't want anything more connectivity than just an after credit scene. That is it for these movies right now. They need to work on just being good right now.
It was cool when Superman came in at the end, though.
It was cool.
That was funny.
I'm like, yeah, I have lived.
I made a joke the other day at dinner. I said, honey, listen, so you're going over to England. Can you try to trace down Henry Cavill for me? I need to talk to him about doing some stuff for C3 next year. And she goes, if I met Henry Cavill, your name would never, ever, ever come up. As a matter of fact, I'm not even sure we'd be married. That's what she said. The wedding ring may not be on my finger at that time. And I was like, wow, okay.
Jim's like,
I
yeah, I
respect
can't blame you. Me neither.
Yeah, I respect it.
Damn you, Marcus. Come on, support me.
If my wife said, I'd be like, all right, man. But just understand if Holly Berry comes around.
I said, so he's in the 10 list. He's like, yeah, he is in the 10 list.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Y'all give each other 10. Most people have like a 1. Y'all are really playing the odds here, Jim. That's 20 opportunities to not be stuck with each other. Good job.
Oh, no. No, I think we did it. It was because of the whole. I think Friends did an episode on that or something. One of those did a top 10 list or something. It was crazy. Yeah, him and Thor. She definitely goes those ways.
I was all about Lupita in the last Wakanda movie, man. She was just so amazing to me.
Are we talking? Did we just
You met her?
We did. But maybe not for Marcus.
Maybe that would be hard with that performance to like. I don't think that there was any like kind of attraction to on that level because the performances were so like the tone of them. It's not like oh wow, I'm attracted to that person after watching them cry about their dead brother.
I was very attracted to her, extremely.
Marty's like, I can use those tears.
I was squirming in my seat. She was so fine. Beckerman can vouch for it. I was like a little boy.
You're going deep into this.
Family picture. My wife told me I better not die right after because she knows who's chasing.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not mad about that one either.
That's why he's king of the ocean.
Speaking of Henry Cavill, for those of you who like signing change.org surveys or whatever they're called. There's one for trying to bring them back to The Witcher.
Has a change.org thing ever fucking mattered?
No,
Uh,
and they already picked somebody for the new Witcher. It was
well,
That just
Liam
seems like the
Neeson or
dumbest
whatever.
shit to me. No one ever
The other
cares. about
other
that.
Hemsworth brother.
the other Hemsworth. Yeah, he's going to be the new
Really?
Witcher.
The
Yeah,
Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth.
Wow. So this is the last season of The
Miley
Witcher.
Helmsford.
Sexpo.
Liam Helmsford.
Did
What's
y'all
up,
see?
Nick?
Did y'all
Good
see
morning,
the
good morning.
Jason Momoa werewolf movie?
So,
The one with Havoc. Didn't we talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Hey,
I
Nick.
just saw that
Oh,
the
geez,
other
that's a lot
day.
of thigh.
It'll never happen, Miss Momoa, Miss So.
Miss Momoa?
I'm just coming on to agree with Marcus that I found that I was staring at Lupita Nyong'o in that movie.
What part of Lupita?
When she went
That-
underwater for sure. Whenever she was in some kind
That
of
ass,
one-piece
though.
costume, oh my god!
That tracksuit though?
But specifically when she went to Haiti for the first time, we saw her for the first time. She was just a beautiful.
I agree completely.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I love long hair, and that's what did it for me.
I think I was thinking of Letitia. I'm sorry.
No, just her
I
face.
just kept
and her
picturing
lips.
Shuri in a tracksuit. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about?
No, not
Oh,
Letitia. No.
She, was, she was dressed like a fucking henchman for the Monarch and Venture Brothers.
Nah, not her.
Tracksuit Mafia.
She's
Come
got
on.
a pretty
Sorry,
face.
stay in universe. Tracksuit Mafia.
She's got a pretty face, but she's like,
She just ain't got the. She doesn't have the woman body. Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't have the cakes, is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
But she is good. She is good looking though.
Angela Bassett too.
She was a
I would
beast.
be remiss
Yes.
if I don't tell Miss So that it's okay, your heart will go on.
Yeah.
What up, Miss So?
Never. That's the meme queen.
And you're
I'm
breaking
working on
my
my
heart
meme today.
not watching Titanic.
Anybody watching the old Supermans today? I got plans to do that.
The Christopher Reeve ones?
Oh yeah, I had
My God,
forgot
I
about
can-
those
I can-
clips I shared.
I can close my eyes and watch those whole movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in over a decade, so I'm
Just
looking
make sure
forward
when you
to
get to
jumping back in.
Superman 2, you actively don't watch the theatrical cut. You have to watch the Donner cut. I'm not saying that jokingly. I don't know if you're
What's
aware.
the difference? What's the
So
difference?
Richard Donner, like, you know how Peter Jackson filmed Lord of the Rings at once. Richard Donner was like really the first person to do that with Superman 1 and 2. He filmed them together. The Salkind brothers were the big producers for Warner Brothers at the time that made all of those. They got into a fight with Richard Donner and axed him between Superman 1 and 2. They hired Richard Lester to come in and reshoot some of Superman 2 to make it their own. There's massive differences between the two films. That scene that you showed with Lois and the gun, if you don't watch the Donner cut, that's not even in the movie.
Really?
In the
That's
original
why
theatrical
people
cut,
were saying they didn't remember that, and that
because
was
they haven't watched the actual original
Oh.
Superman 2. In the movie, like, it's a trip stumble, and there's in that room that they're in, there's an open fireplace. Because like in that little Niagara Falls hotel room, Clark slips and his hand hits it, and he tries to pretend like he's hurt, but he can't hide it from Lois because she's legitimately trying to check on him, and she sees that there's no burn, and that's how he gets covered. Lois was Lois in the Donner cut. She's like, "Don't even act like you're hurt because you're just going to have to get up." I'm like, "Yes." Dude, that moment, that was the best acting that any Superman actor has ever done, no matter who they are. That moment when Clark is being Clark, all nervous, and she pulls that trigger, and the sound of that trigger going off, it's like you blink, even if you keep your eyes open, because that's not the same person standing in front of you. From the time before that gun goes off to after, like, everything about him is different. Like, that's how he fucking does it. Like,
I love the way he
I know
takes
you would have
the way he
killed
takes
Clark
his
in
glasses
this.
off.
it's over.
He's like,
yeah.
he takes his glasses off. He's like, "Yep, I'm super."
Yeah,
That shit was
over.
dope. That shit
Yeah.
was.
Oh.
And people also don't take into consideration, like, how does no one not know he's Superman? Bro, he lives in New York. When was the last time you remembered who you walked by in a big city?
Right. Nobody pays attention. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I worked with him, I might notice.
Yeah, I give you that. I'm just talking about like the general public too, though. It's not just like people saying, "How doesn't Lois know?" Like, Lois felt like an idiot for not knowing.
I kind of want to go watch them.
But
I'm
yeah,
definitely gonna go
and
watch
there's
him.
all kinds of stuff, especially in like the Fortress of Solitude against Zod and his crew. Was it Nam? And I always wanted to say Feora, but that's from the Man of Steel one. Ursula or something.
Because
whatever her name is.
Feora is her actual name.
Ursula.
But he pulls his he has some Richard Donner gave him a few little fun abilities like pulling the S off his chest and throwing it like a net.
That was awesome. I
Roll
loved
up
that when
net.
I was a kid.
Made no sense. Still makes no sense, but
But Rob's the king of suspending the disbelief. We can still
That's
call
right.
it out. We can still call it out. Yeah, but Richard Lester then went on to make Superman 3 and 4. So if you want to know what Richard Lester's Superman looks like, those are Richard Lester. The first two, even though he came in on Superman 2, that's still Donner's movie. That's why it's so damn good. Both cuts. But that Donner cut is way different.
Mrs. Tessmacher!
Yeah, like Dr. Van Hoot said, he physically transforms in front of your eyes. It's magical. It
Yes,
legitimately.
it is. I agree. Rest in peace, Christopher. You know, Christopher Reeve and Patrick Swayze, those are two celebrity deaths that really hit me hard, man. I'm still sad about both of them.
What's crazy is the timing with Reeve too, because like he was on Smallville as Dr. Swan, you know, like he was like making those appearances. I don't know if
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in Smallville, and Tom Welling Clark Kent has scenes with him and stuff, and like watching that like as it's airing, you know, I'm sitting there like this is god tier television right now. This is made for people who like Superman, like multi generations coming together right now in front of my eyes, and just I don't know, just the respect that man commanded even well after his accident. Like,
yeah, you know that accident spawned one of the most savage jokes I have ever heard in my lifetime.
Is this a South
What's
Park?
that?
What was the name of Christopher Reeve's horse?
No, I don't want this joke.
No.
Was it Lex?
The name of the horse that killed Christopher Reeves was named Kryptonite.
That's what I said.
And when I heard that the first time,
I said that. You said no.
Oh no, I heard somebody else say something. I didn't hear anybody else.
Yeah. Somebody said Lex.
Christopher Reeve owned a horse and it wasn't named Comet. That was a missed
Except
opportunity.
that the horse isn't what killed him.
Hold on, Rob. What's the punchline?
No, there's no punchline. The horse didn't kill him. He was paralyzed.
Celebrity death that got me so was Carrie Fisher.
There you
So
go, there.
devastating that she's gone.
Yeah, that was rough too.
But don't
Was
worry, Disney
Beauty
made it
killed
out
the
better.
beast?
Before she died, they let her fly around in space as a Jedi deity.
Oh,
so good.
Yeah, you have fun though.
Shout
Go
out
back,
to Disney
go back
Star
and
Wars.
watch her though in
So
Jay
good.
Silent Bob Strike Back when she has a nun pulling it. Do you follow the book?
I watched Andor. It was. I have one question. No, I don't want to say.
Go ahead.
Okay. At the end of Andor with the whole tractor beam thing. Okay.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was
Everyone's
very
been
cool.
wanting to hear
That was
some-
probably the best part of the whole show right there. But the one thing that I noticed, like, so he has guns on the ship, but then he hit that one button,
Freaking
did a
lightsabers.
spin, and
The
it looked
ship-
like, he
The
looked
ship
he turned himself-
transformed and pulled out lightsabers.
He looked just like Darth Maul's freaking weapon and sliced him in half. And I'm thinking, that is the coolest freaking thing ever. How come they
Something
didn't
you've
use
never
that
seen.
in all the damn shows?
Because we've never seen before. Well, because one of the things is, remember, his cover and his job, he's dealing with various antiquities from various different places and stuff. So he potentially has access to or seen different types of weaponry and other types of stuff that people have either forgotten about or don't, aren't in use or whatever else. But yeah, no, when I saw it, I was like, did that ship just pull out fucking lightsabers? It was fun to see something different you hadn't seen before.
I haven't seen the show, but I saw that in the trailers before episode 1 even came out. They kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I never paid attention to that.
Nobody's ever used the tractor beam tactic.
Yeah.
So Apparently,
Andor
well,
is awesome.
it has been done in the EU expanded. That's kind of comes from the EU stuff, but it's the whole understanding is that that's a very expensive, and it only works on. It's going to work on a ship like that has like a single or limited tractor beam emitters, right? Something like that would not have worked on the Death Star, where it has hundreds of tractor beam emitters. You can't take them all out. It's kind of a one shot and you're done type of thing. But the concept is that it's supposed to be very expensive, and a ship that size normally would not be equipped with something like that.
I thought it was just supposed to be like Iron Man.
Kind of like me on the first Thursday of every month. One shot and I'm done.
So
yeah, that was pretty dope.
I'm with Nick.
By far, Eric Selvig has become one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Freaking Andor blew me away.
Did they give him his wig back?
that part I didn't like.
So we like Andor now. It's good.
I loved it since the beginning.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, but if you stay with it, it's.
I just haven't been around.
I like the prison episode. That was good.
I have seen people compare it to The Expanse on Prime, which is an amazing show. So that makes me want to watch it.
Expanse started differently for me, where it started strong to me, and for a while it kind of. Actually, I should take that back. No, I take that back.
It wasn't good till season 3 for me.
I liked I did like The Expanse, but then it went off of went off of Sci-Fi, went to Amazon, and I haven't watched any of it since it moved to Amazon.
Oh, speaking of that,
it gets better. Season 3 is amazing.
Amazon just announced that they're picking up the Spider Society Silk show for the
Silk.
Spider-Verse. Is that Spider-Verse universe?
That's why Nick's asking you guys if you want to buy any silk.
Is that Sony still?
Rob, it goes back to the Spider Goat to get the good silk.
Exactly right.
I don't know if y'all putting last night, but me and Rob blew the lid on the most amazing scientific discovery of 15 years ago. There's an actual goat that has been genetically spliced with a spider, and we shit you not, an actual goat that produces spider silk out of its udders, and that spider silk is used to make material stronger and more resilient than Kevlar.
Does it shoot it from
it's
anywhere?
It's the goat that can give you cashmere and silk.
Mm-hmm. Y'all are looking at something crazy, but this is actually 100% factual.
I'm gonna need to see some documentation.
I want to feel the goat's udders.
Jim, the internet is at your fingertips.
I just pointed out that they have genetically spliced a goat with a spider, and it's been public knowledge and readily available for over 15 years. But circumstances is trying not to be triggered when someone bashes Wakanda. That's where we are as a society. That's where we are.
Don't forget, he now go buy Plastic Them.
Yeah, Plastic Them.
Plastic Them is my favorite comic book character.
Did you see Andor is going to be on regular TV?
Did you watch the TV show? Sorry,
you're putting Andor on regular TV. So
thank goodness,
the first two episodes. That's the worst part, right?
First two,
it's like
great, not waste of time.
When you released it,
any capacity.
When you released it initially, you needed 3 episodes together to make it grab you, right?
Still
supposedly, and now you're only going to do 2.
So shout out to all the OG Disney fans.
Of Andor, and then skip to episode is it 9 or 10?
So for the record, I know Marcus was wondering. The goat's name is Freckles.
Yeah, all right. I gotta go.
That would have been my guess.
But how did they just?
Everybody who went to D23 got their Disney Plus subscription canceled now because the 3 years is up from the initial deal.
Yeah, no, I had to pay my Disney Plus. Well, now it's kind of combined with Hulu, so it's a different package now. But
that's true. Do you get the Discovery Channel and ESPN too?
Yeah, whatever. It's all part of the whatever. But it was kind of nice because before it was when you'd prepaid for that 3-year bundle on the Disney Plus,
got strapped into it. Yeah.
But not only did you get a great deal on it to begin with, but then because I had Hulu, when they announced their bundle, they started to give me a Disney Plus credit for paying for Disney Plus separately, and the credit they were giving me was greater
more
than
than
what
you
I was
paid.
than
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
paid per month,
There's
which
no
is
algorithm to figure that shit out. So
which was kind of great. Which is kind of like I just had the same thing happen with Shortbox, taking it
Mhm.
back to comics. Shortbox, I was just randomly. I got a message. The other day. I got an alert that a seller. There was a book that I had indicated I was interested in or was tracking. A seller was making me an offer on a book.
Mhm.
And so they offered me it was X-Men 2099 #1 in a 9.8. I don't have a 9.8 copy of that, and so they offered it for like $59. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, for $59, I'll pick up a slabbed 9.8 X-Men 2099 #1. That's fine. And so I
Was it
went
the
ahead
gold
and
one?
no, it's the blue one.
Well, keeping it on the topic of comics, the reason why they genetically spliced this spider with this
Oh
goat
my
is
god.
because
Finish my story.
they need the silk from spiders for production stuff, but spiders are impossible to farm because they're so cannibalistic. So they've worked on for years trying to find a way to farm spiders, and they can't. So they created Freckles.
Okay, so as I was saying,
I like spiders.
paid money for the book, got ship notification that it was supposedly shipping. Then all of a sudden yesterday I got a notice from Shortbox saying it hasn't shipped, that the person who was selling it doesn't have inventory, and that they apologize and they've refunded me my money. Which I thought was pretty odd that first of all somebody had a book, made an
Gave you an
offer to
offer.
me,
Yeah.
would you like to
Yeah.
buy this at this discounted price, and then didn't actually have the book to sell. But in that same email where they apologized and refunded me my money, they then gave me a coupon code for $20 off my next purchase without any limit on what it was that my spending limit, and
Mhm.
provided a link to another copy of that book that they had on their platform that was only $10 more. So it was selling for $69 instead of the $59 I paid, but they gave me a $20 discount coupon
You paid
with
$49.
that. So yeah, so I said, okay, fine, great. So I ended up saving money.
You are a Mac Daddy,
Speaking
Rob.
of saving, Freckles silk can be used in ligament repair. It's already been proven to not be rejected by the human body or even cause inflammation.
The way that these conversations are interwoven is
Oh,
Mixed in there. Mixed in there.
I was worried about the
Nick, that
inflammation
was
though.
utterly amazing.
Oh my God. Rob responds immediately.
Rob, yes, you are the goat of comebacks and one-liners.
Nick's back on top.
And Mark is milking this for all it's worth.
Yes.
No, I'm just actually intrigued by the fact that we're genetically splicing animals, which I thought was like illegal, but like they're just doing it. But we argue about not even talking about comics, but just talking about circumstances with the manufactured outrage. That's why that kind of shit happens, so that no one's actually looking at the real shit that's happening in life.
Do you mean circumstances as in
agree.
circumstances, or do you mean as circumstances as in the individual that's with us right now?
Really both, Kyle, and that's what's so powerful about his online presence and name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just Gerald.
No, I agree though. I think that recreational outrage distracts us from the shit that really matters. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Recreational marijuana is a great way to
Keep in mind what I just read, like genetically splicing animals and already having human testing.
Yeah.
Like Jim didn't even believe that I was telling the truth, and it's beyond something
And
that they're
we
doing.
now have officially sanctioned lab created meat. So there you go.
Like
Now you can officially be a
remember in
meat
Talladega
obstacle.
Nights when Ricky Bobby was like joking about like putting a pig heart and stuff, and it was like a joke because it's so outrageous. Like shit's already happening,
Right?
And
They've already done that.
it's joked about, but it's being done. Yeah, Spider-Man 2099 is
what?
coming. Shop is into something.
Pig and an elephant DNA still don't mix. It's just
Please
like that
run.
Loverboy. Just like that Loverboy song.
You know what does mix? A pig in a blanket.
Camera. What?
Yum yum.
Yeah, you get some Spider-Man 29 action. I'd be good with that.
Yeah.
I always loved that
All right.
pseudoscience-y thing with Miguel O'Hara with a concept of the genetic splicing and that he actually had. So it was much better than just I got bit by a radioactive spider.
Rick Leonardi art was terrible though.
Can someone boot him?
Ursula.
He can. He's got his Vader uniform on there. He's good. All right, I'm out. I got to get my chores started. Y'all have a good one.
Take it
Your
easy,
wife will
dear.
leave you for one of the 10 men on that list. Have you actually like checked her list, or you just know she has a list? Because she might, for all you know, have like 7 celebrities and 3 people who live in your hometown.
I have not checked the list. I
Mine's
know she
my
has.
neighbor.
I'm sure she has a list, but it's not written down. It's all up
You want to
there.
make
She's
sure
never
she
going to
hasn't
reveal
sprinkled
it.
like your mailman into that list. You really check your status.
I mean, you never
Also,
know.
Gregory from down the block.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.
Later, Digger.
That guy at church.
Anyone else watch the that Netflix series that we talked about on In the Mix, Ancient Apocalypse, that just dropped?
I watched the first episode when you were telling me about it.
What was it called?
Ancient Apocalypse. It only builds and gets better.
Mhm.
Dude, it is a lot of it is stuff that if you follow Graham Hancock's body of work, you're familiar with. But as with anything that's like archaeology related, like time just only creates more context.
What a
he's
freaking
behind it?
name, Ram Hancock.
Graham Hancock's behind it.
Yeah,
He's not behind it. He's in front of it. It's his special. 100% his.
What a
special.
name!
I
What a
saw that
freaking
dude on
name.
Joe Rogan, and he fascinated the fuck.
So
out
I
of
don't
me.
know. I don't know if
I'm
you've
in.
watched all of that. He's been on there 9 times, and some of the times he's on there with Randall Carlson, who like Graham Hancock is only a journalist, and it's really Randall Carlson that's been his body of work is what Graham has discovered and been able to connect all these mysteries. Like Graham finds all this evidence and never really knew how to tie it together, and it was Randall's body of work that really just like was the gasoline on the fire. And if you watch the ones on Rogan, watch the ones with Randall Carlson. But all of this stuff, he kind of does a documentary on his body of work. You know what I mean? That stuff that you said fascinated you, kind of thing. He's not
I'm
getting
sold.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all because he's done like 3 books on like the ancient history stuff, and 1 book called Supernatural on like the importance of like hallucinogens and early shamanism and stuff like that, and the part it probably had to play in the advancements of society. Because there's no mystery at all that most ancient civilizations had forms of hallucinogens that were interwoven into their society and what that meant for their like advancements and knowledge and stuff like that. But it's not on that aspect of it. It's on just a straight civilization side of it.
I think I saw him talking about. He was the one that introduced me to ayahuasca. Actually.
Yeah, see, that's why I thought to bring that up, because he'll go down a rabbit hole on that, because he's done countless like supervised, sanctioned ayahuasca and DMT sessions and stuff like that.
Sanctioned. Sorry.
He's the one that talked about he's like super. He had a bad relationship with marijuana, right? Is that the guy?
Well, he didn't like to the point that it just started causing him to not be as productive as he needed to be. Yeah, so he would put it down.
But ayahuasca helped him come to grips with that and actually change it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do some ayahuasca, man, someday.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this, but I'm nervous to what it may awaken.
The most fascinating thing that I heard about it is how it will reconnect connections to memories that you've lost, and you'll remember, like you may have a fear in your life, but you have no idea, and it will connect you to the root of that fear, and you'll understand it better. That shit is fascinating, man.
All right, so next Planet Comic Con Saturday night. Here we go.
That's one of the.
Let's do it.
That's one of the things he talks about too, in like Supernatural and stuff. Is like DMT is like probably one of the most potent. One of the absolute most potent hallucinogens on the planet. Ayahuasca is up there, but DMT has to be smoked to be activated. But there's ancient Amazon civilizations that found the means to mix ayahuasca with DMT, because when you mix the two, it creates a chemical reaction where you can ingest DMT and it'll activate. And he's talking about these ancient sciences. Like, you don't find that on accident. You know what I mean? Like these 2 small local plants that when you mix them, it creates this effect kind of thing. He's talking about how they came to this knowledge and stuff like that. It's really really crazy. If you get a chance, check out that Supernatural book. If that's the stuff like that's probably like 2% of the like what he's known for in his body of work is with the stuff with the hallucinogen properties and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. He was at Fingers of God or something he wrote that I was super
Fingerprints of the
interested
God, yeah.
in. Yeah.
That was the book that he did in 1995. So that book was heavily based on these lost civilizations, and at the time, his theory was plate tectonic displacement. And like General Nathan Hopgood, who was the guy behind the American, like he was an American general who was behind the whole Men Who Stare at Goats kind of movie. Like when we were doing psi research back in the day, trying to see if astral projection was a thing, if we can get people to kind of get to that point where we can spy on other nations. General Hopgood kind of thought that like with all this stuff like plate displacement, like the continents always moving and what that meant for a lost civilization and stuff like that. But he's updated it over the years as more information has come in.
Oh,
Aggressive.
no, this is USB 3.0.
I want to know if that's actually true. If you actually did that, or if that's just you talking, because I hope you did. All right, I gotta get off, guys.
Gross.
Lucky for you.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah.
I know.
Boo's
wish
not-
I was
I hope
in
it's
your
not
booth.
Boo handling that.
Jesus, man.
Enjoy it.
Wear a bib.
And go Squirtle on yourself.
Yeah.
That's right. It's time for me to go to Romania too.
Romania.
I think I'm going to attempt to be productive today. We got to do some packing up of stuff and pulling out of some Christmas stuff.
It's not Thanksgiving yet.
I don't give a fuck about
We've
Christmas.
got lights up in our
appetizer.
neighborhood already.
I don't like you anymore.
I love Thanksgiving. Yeah, that Thanksgiving disrespect is not okay.
Yeah, we celebrate Thanksgiving, but I don't put out the Thanksgiving lights. That's not my fault. They don't have the representation in the holiday aisles.
Screw Thanksgiving. Go wait in line for the deals, man.
Oh, don't y'all really fall for that shit?
Never.
I literally killed a person trying to buy a TV.
I was in Best Buy like 2 weeks ago when they have all these TVs just flooded their walking space. I'm like, what's going on? Why are all these TVs out here? And they're like, oh, we're getting ready for Black Friday. And I looked down at the TV. I said, is that why these are 3-year-old TVs? And she laughed. She goes, yeah. I'm like, no shit.
They also
they're not deals.
Best Buy got called out for making a Black Friday TV, and it was just like a garbage. Like it was like they're throwing in all this old technology.
They're not getting new technology on Black Friday deals. That's not how it works. It's an overstock sale for businesses. Like,
well, that's what Amazon Prime Day or whatever the heck it is. It was like warehouse clearance day. That's all it was.
That's all that Black Friday is anywhere. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great opportunity for them to get rid of their products and people to feel happy with getting shit that's outdated.
Yeah, why can't we do that at grocery stores? Have like Black Friday for grocery stores. What's that?
There are a chain called Save a Lot where you go in there and everything is past shelf life. So I don't know how they're allowed to sell it. It's not like it's heavily dated past shelf life. You won't get old milk there, but
like it doesn't have mold actively growing on it. So
yeah, it's stuff that's like they're not comfortable selling it in the main stores anymore. It's not all of it's past shelf life. You might have like a week to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have a cart for that at Walmart every day.
Yeah, it's in customer service.
I still can't figure out my goddamn camera.
I have yet to pick up my books this week.
So, like, if you
me.
want to get a TV, like, so they do their Black Friday sales. They mark everything up at holiday time, you know. But then at the end of February, beginning of March is when they actually do the swap outs at all the stores. And me and my wife figured this out when we went television shopping a few years back. But they'll pull everything out of the back room and put it out on the floor for sale because they have to fill the back room with the new stock of the stuff that's now on the display wall. So if you're finding a television that's just one series behind, there'll be $900 on the wall, but they'll go to that sales floor at the end of February, beginning of March. The 900 ones will be like $400 because that's how technology works. As soon as the next one's out, the one before it is just it's literally costing them money, taking up space, so they have to get them gone. But that's when to get them.
But people need to have their stuff now. I want it now, and I want to have the ability to purchase it immediately on release. And I'm going to wait in line for it.
People go into the store, like if you haven't taken the time to like look and try to figure it out, you go to that back wall to go see what they have. That's where they're all on display. You walk past the ones that one series before, you know.
I love how Kyle is working it so that even when he's not in frame, he's in frame.
Oh yeah, he's himself with that mirror and this slant.
Good use.
And just go to the back wall and look at what series numbers, because you'll see that the television, even with different brands, they have similar series numbers, much like a phone does, like an iPhone 27 or whatever. So you know the 26 is the most recent one before that. TVs are the same way.
Remy, I have this for you.
An empty box.
You have that for me.
Yes.
You better put
Tell me more.
Right.
I'm just hoping that what's in the middle stays in the middle like such. I have to construct how it's going to work.
I would love Nick in the middle.
I don't know what that is.
Look like two slabs in a print.
And you'll be getting some more of the big time collectibles.
Yes.
Slab.
That's the name of the new show. Two slabs in a print.
Yeah, my wonderful co-host is taking shots at me as well.
Oh.
Says the guy who hasn't picked up weekly books ever, probably.
Whose decision is that?
Oh, my camera's not plugged in. That'll change a lot.
Remy, did you hear the news that scientists have genetically spliced the spider?
Have what?
Scientists genetically spliced a spider with a goat to create a goat that can produce spider silk, because spiders are impossible to farm because they're cannibalistic.
It's not even turned on.
And
No, I
this
hadn't
isn't
heard
a
that.
joke, by the way. Like this, I'm just trying to raise awareness.
Where does it come out? From the udder?
Yes.
Sure.
That's funny. That's what we all care about.
I swear to Christ, they milked this goat for spider silk. I swear on my kids, I'm not BSing.
Nice.
Come on, please work. Please work. Please work.
So if you see a spider out there, it looks like a goat. Don't be alarmed.
Oh, wait a minute. The goat is spider size? I thought it was still full size goat.
It's a full size goat, but you know,
okay.
How do you really know anymore?
I don't. That's what I'm wondering. It's like I don't know if it's like The Fly, the remake, or the original The Fly. Like that's what I'm wondering. Is there like a fly with a human head and then a big human with a fly head, or is it just a mix? Because Jeff Goldblum was awesome in that.
More afraid of a big human with a fly head, even though you assume just from saying it that's not as scary, but I think that'd be even more scary.
I love that how Q just comes in and brings a whole new perspective to the goat. Spider.
Y'all weren't trying to face facts and face reality. Y'all were trying to blow past this shit like this shit ain't happening.
Goat and spider, that sounds crazy. And I'm like, no, that works. I want to know more about it.
You need to know what
Tell me more.
Like, do I bring a baseball bat or a fly swatter? I don't know what to bring.
Yeah. It didn't take me long for you guys to be like, hey, Ancient Apocalypse, you should watch it. And I was like, yeah, I should watch it.
That shit was fire. 8 episodes.
They say it's not about aliens, but it's about aliens.
Nick,
I haven't finished it. I still have
45 in the morning, and I'm sending him shit. Look at this.
Yeah, I've got 2 episodes left, and yeah, he hasn't mentioned aliens yet.
No, he never mentions aliens.
I know that's what I mean.
You've got
never brings the supernatural into any of it. This is all hard evidence and facts.
Listen, the same kind of architecture, thousands of miles away. Aliens,
Aliens.
for sure.
Yeah, there's such a more simple explanation, and it's kind of like if you go to New York and you see where an architect designed a building, then you go to Paris and you see where an architect designed a building. How did he do that? It's almost like he could travel. Oh my God. What if people just knew how to travel before?
Alien
You know what I'm
giants.
saying? Like, that's not even crazy. That's so simple.
Alien giants walk the panacea,
Say
spreading their
panacea.
lies of architecture all over the place.
You know what? I didn't know when he was talking about all the different stories of floods from different cultures and everything. I didn't know that was a thing.
Every single culture that has ever existed
that's what I
on this
mean.
planet has their own flood myth. Every one of
Not
them.
every single culture.
Yes,
No.
Kyle.
No, everyone. Okay,
Every
I
one of
saw
them.
the show.
Now we're bringing Namor. Now we're bringing Namor into it. Mutant aliens.
Not every culture. There are multiple, numerous. I might add.
Add some more. What else you got?
What do you
If
mean?
it
Like
doesn't
more
have to do with
adjectives?
spider goats, I don't want to hear it. Just so
Oh,
we're clear.
okay. Sorry.
Get
I
some
thought you wanted me to like say more adjectives.
What do you want?
Real food.
Well, tell mommy. Mommy knows how to cook. Daddy don't know how to cook.
Real food.
I mean, she wants
Just give
a
him his daily allotment of dextrose.
Give her 2 Flintstone vitamins and tell her to be grateful.
Flintstone vitamins. Those are delicious.
Well, I'm probably about to hop off here and get her some food and get the kid dressed and try to find some ways to be productive.
Real food.
Yeah, real food. Real food. Probably go right over to my buddy Lee's house. He had knee surgery, so he's just hanging out in the house. That's got to be boring. There'll be some company. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Now that we all know about this spider goat, we know what to do moving forward. When you leave your house, be cautious.
We need to tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, in the mix to see what this is.
Uh-oh.
Can you just open it now? Why would you do it like that? Oh, we're not
I'm
leaving.
curious myself.
We're staying. We're staying.
Hey, Panda. Man, I haven't seen
One for the
you
road,
going
baby.
on, everybody? The fuck
No,
is
he's just here
going
for
on?
he's here for the backstage. That's what he shows up for, man.
Fuck yeah. Let's go ahead and hit that live button and go backstage because everybody, it's been what, 2 hours and 40 minutes?
Yeah, we'll just stay live. I was gonna feed the kid, but fuck it. She can be hungry till we're watching one.
All right, well, it looks like I'm getting fucking naked live, so oh man, it is so good to fucking talk to you guys again, man. It's
been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't
I
seen
would
you
ask you
forever.
what's new, but we all know what's new.
What's
Spider
that?
goats. Spider
Oh
goats.
yeah,
are-
spider goats. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that. Haven't heard about it on the news because I'm pretty sure the Onion hasn't come out with that news article yet.
Boom. Dan with the $2 super chat. I hear that every predicted the coming of Nick. Nope, we got someone else
Nick's
here.
coming where?
Well, yeah, he's
Wherever
coming
you
on
asked
something.
to.
Nick's
Where's
always
Will?
coming on something. So,
I still gotta open this bad boy.
oh shit, Kyle, open it now.
Well, this is a shitty camera, dude. I was trying to get my camera set up.
Okay, all right. I was about to say you don't look 1080p today.
No, I think I broke the actual connectors in the camera.
Shit, Marcus, are you still? Oh, there it is. I thought you just got that cock stuck in your mouth. I was like, what has he got that look on for? You look like you're staring at so much gay porn right now, dude. You look very concentrated on something.
I'm trying to find today's memes. This is what I'm doing. I'm
Okay,
failing.
well,
Right now.
you do come up with the best reels I think I've ever fucking seen. It's
Thank
the
you.
fucking best, dude. Fucking best. Wow, I didn't mean to just drop a whole bunch of F-bombs on here.
I know I've been cussing too
Sorry.
much too. I gotta chill out.
And a few C bombs and a few.
Add a few moose knuckles. We're good. Just as long as everybody gets offended, that's all. That's all I care about. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I don't know, man.
About to go to work.
Yeah, where are you heading off to in Vegas? Where do you work? Because
Where do I work?
I don't know any strip clubs that are
What is it
open.
called? And
Strip
where's
clubs
the
are,
address?
strip
The
clubs are
exact address.
100% open right now.
Yeah, because people.
Oh yeah, you
construction
are in
works nights
Vegas.
and strips in the day, bro.
Huh? Yeah. We can go to a strip club right now. I mean, the girls are going to be 52 years old, but they're there.
Yes.
Well,
that's right. That's right in my age range.
Oh yeah. They got
Sounds
such
good.
a good pitch. They got such a good pitch when you go in there. They're like, you got experience. You know how to sell.
It's like the older you get, the worse your Pornhub search gets. Because innocently you get on there and your first Pornhub search is tits. And then by the time you get to Nick's age, you're like Russian, pregnant,
Yeah.
feet,
Yeah,
spider goats.
Spider goat.
Spider goat. Yeah. What
You're
crazy
looking for
parody
anything
can I
that's
think
gonna
of
get
now?
you off.
Oh shit, it's there.
It's there.
It's
Yeah.
there.
Mark
And,
was on the Terminator TV show parody the other day. He was like, "Oh man, they do have a continuation."
And Panda, if you want to compare Pornhub searches, I'm pretty sure yours would be.
Mine all started off with double
Panda.
wide trailer, Walmart, local
Walmart
skating
parking
rink.
lots.
Crack whore.
Leg missing, down on their luck, mom who acts as Smurf.
Right, homeless lady in front of mom and pop shop. That's where my Pornhub search goes these days.
You'll love
thank you
strip
guys.
clubs.
Thank you guys.
I like to look
Miss,
up foreign
thank you
languages and use their words.
Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. Thank you.
Man, Panda, you're a lot funnier in the morning than you are in the evening.
Hell yeah, man. Because I'm still delirious from not sleeping from the day before. That's why.
Oh, okay. Speed will do that to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Speaking of people,
Mark had to mute us because his kids are around while Panda is
No, she's in
going
there
on his X-rated rant.
giving us hell.
yeah,
about it.
I could have sworn we ended this.
See,
Another $2 super chat from Blue Hellion comment. Happy
Hey.
birthday, Panda. So if you're out there and you love Panda, drop a super chat.
Yeah, we'll keep it rolling as long as the super chats keep coming in.
Highest super chat, Panda will do your personal search in his Pornhub search bar.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'll share my screen.
Can we get to 50?
$50 will get my Pornhub search.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll reveal the last search I put in Pornhub. How about that? You get it to $50. I will reveal my last Pornhub search. And I swear to God, it might say double wide trailer. I'm not joking.
Panda's deep in there too. He's starting to like search all the tiny countries with only like 8 million people. He's like Moldovan hoes.
Because somebody over there's got that kink. There's 8 million people. There's bound to be
the algorithm hasn't caught on to how hoary Moldovans are.
He's actually Talocanian.
Yeah.
Fish women.
What, Namor? Looking for Namor sex?
Namor.
Now you got me wondering what my most recent search history is.
Your investors. You have investors?
Let's see. Well, I don't watch Pornhub, so let's go to farmersonly.com.
Farmers only. There we go. Because in LA, there's plenty of people on that website.
Christian Mingle.
You'll get the most fucked up stories from Christian Mingle.
You can mark atheist on Christian Mingle. I went and looked.
I love God, but I also love to be tied up. Who else? Who else?
I love God, but I don't believe in him. Let's fuck.
Boy, this Friday morning has taken a quick turn.
You should have heard the politics talk earlier. It was terrible.
Bring the goat back.
Like, what the fuck? I got to get on here. Me and Panda got to get on here and just turn this X-rated. This is a debate right here, actually.
Exactly, right?
We're fourth parties.
Are we going back to politics?
I'm still on Remy's thoughts,
Kyle,
though.
keep
I'm
up
still
political
on
porn.
I'm still
Political
on
porn.
Remy's thoughts. Like, I'm done with porn. I want to talk more about this spider goat because I'm so like, do they hang upside down from the udders or their butthole? Like, where does most?
I don't
of
think
the
it'd be the butthole. It'd have to be the udder because it produces.
The silk
I
comes
get it,
out
but
of the
this
udder.
is evolution. It doesn't just have to come out of the udders. Why are we thinking it's just the udders that this shit could come out of?
Well, it could be the butthole if it was a cream pie.
It could be all the orifices this webbing comes out of. You know what I mean? It sneezes and it just comes everywhere. I don't know.
$5 super chat from Dan. He did search for a panda roll on Pornhub. He didn't find him, even in the BDSM section.
Because nobody likes to tie up poor, adorable pandas. That's why.
Only on the dark web, Dan. Only on the dark web.
Dark web.
You
Do not look up panda roll on the dark web.
Yeah.
Don't.
You will have a knock on your door within 5 minutes.
I don't think anybody in this chat knows what the dark web is or has been on the dark web.
I think you're very wrong about that statement, Kyle.
Yeah.
Really?
I was gonna say, you look up panda roll on
Nick,
the
goes
dark
back to our
web.
conversation yesterday.
As soon as it came out of his mouth, I was, whoa.
well, I think
I was
some
gonna
people
say,
on
if
this
you're-
chat like to say people don't like they know, but maybe they do, maybe they
Cool.
don't.
My dad's now opening my own mail. That's awesome. Sweet.
There
He's
you go.
on the dark web.
That's federal, baby.
Yeah, the only person that's going to be knocking on your door after searching panda rolls, me with a 6-pack going, you
If
ready?
you're on the dark web, no one's going to be knocking on your door. Is the point?
You ready?
They're going to be knocking on the door in a different country.
Did somebody request a panda roll?
I see somebody ordered sushi tonight, and it looks like the only thing they had was a panda roll. I'm here to deliver, bitch.
What the hell is that guy's name?
Yeah, you are
Man,
not like
bingo.
this. I've never actually heard
M-A-N.
Panda talk like this.
Yeah, you're gonna have
I've never heard Panda not talk like this.
That's because we
I'm
were
not
supposed
listening.
to be backstage. I don't even know how long ago. So I said, "Fuck
No.
you want to leave the live button on?" This
It's
is
because
exactly
Burke. It's
what
because you're
like
normally on.
talking
When I see you,
backstage.
Panda, you're normally on with Burke, so you're in your best behavior.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
Papa
God.
Bird won't allow that.
You kind of have to be. You kind of have to be. The guy's really vanilla about a lot of stuff. So
I think vanilla is a good word.
You're gonna have Todd Phillips knocking at the door asking, "Is this where the threesome is?"
yeah.
Old school reference. Nice.
I'm here for the
Whose
gangbang.
feet do I have to fuck to get into this place? Nobody knows that Todd Phillips reference. He's got a thing for feet. That's why.
So does Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and so does that guy from the Nickelodeon producer.
And so does the old Jets coach. That's you could find that one on YouTube.
Oh, that's right, Rex
Holy
Ryan.
shit.
Rick
There
Ryan,
are
there
A
you
lot
go.
of fucking feet people. I hate feet, but goddamn.
He says you search panda roll on the dark web and Chip sends it to you as an A-OK.
Yeah.
I tried feet, wasn't a big fan.
I know. I'm not saying that I haven't tried feet. I just know that's not my thing because I've tried it and I was like, nope, I don't like the feel of the sole of your feet against my balls as I'm fucking some toes. Like, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
good.
I bet you Rob
Like,
Liefeld
you're
has
ashy
it.
motherfucker. You've
Put
been
that in.
walking all day and you want me to fuck this thing? No, I'm not doing it. Like, no, you got some crusty ass feet and it hurts.
We need a
Like,
Carfax report on these feet.
Yeah.
no amount of lotion is going to just justify the moment because it's like you have to have the lotion for at least 5 years before I fuck your feet. Like, you have to put socks on with lotion in it all day, every day.
Wait, what?
And
kind of
then
feet
maybe
are you
Sounds
fucking-
like your socks.
I'm
You
trying.
gotta.
My
You're
wife is
fucking the
into
wrong
different
feet.
things.
You're fucking the wrong feet.
Oh, so I got to go through the
You're not
Rolodex
supposed to fuck
that
a construction
Remy Fu has
worker's
on his
feet, dude.
channel. Yeah. Oh man,
You gotta fuck the feet of the people that stomp on
I
the
am
brakes.
too, Miss So. I am too.
Yeah. What if you had a foot
I don't
fetish, but
know.
you were also into like leg amputees? You'd be in a conundrum.
I can't.
So what part would you be interested in? The person that remains or their limb?
You'd probably still be a virgin.
Yeah.
Wait, even if
Somehow
you
we
do
landed
get
on
that
amputee
video-
porn. Interesting.
All I picture is Remy with that prosthetic leg.
That would have
Two
to
of
be
them, yeah.
prosthetic. There's your solution, Panda. You have prosthetic feet, and then they're clean and soft as you need them to be.
Yeah, but see, okay, now
It's like a
not even
strap-on for a foot fetish.
Well, see, here's the thing. Okay, so like now I'm past the foot fetish thing. So now I'm looking into how do you shoot a porn video about feet, like with prosthetics? Like all of a sudden you're getting into it, you're holding the leg and it pops off, and you got that big look on your face, like, oh, and it's game time decision. What do you do over there? Like, do you continue doing it because, or you
You
like
continue.
because
Bitch
that
doesn't even have to be in the room.
you
She doesn't have to be in the room.
She'd have-
You made Nick leave.
Yeah,
You
what
just
the
made
hell?
Nick evacuate.
She
That's
doesn't
because
even have
that's
to be
his
in the
kink.
room.
He doesn't want to talk about his kink. That's fine, man.
You can have a long-distance relationship that way. She just has to send you her prosthetic foot. Hey, baby,
Hey,
I miss
Remy,
you. Can
how-
you send me?
Send me the leg, but put a stocking on it first,
It's an A-OK. Yeah, put a stocking on it.
so I can slowly roll it down.
Make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
the stocking has hearts for Valentine's Day, because
You could do it on the internet so it looks like she's there, like you're recording yourself, so it's right here. And then she's on the other side.
So as she hands it off screen, you can see him pull it back from off screen. Oh my god! Oh,
Well, I gotta go do accounting stuff, finance stuff. I'll see you guys later.
all right,
Later.
later.
Enjoy.
Accounting, I would have never guessed. I see a child. I should probably get off.
No comment.
No comment. All right, guys. It's been real for real. I really do gotta go.
I'm
I
not
just
dead.
wanted to
Not
stop
dead.
by and
Go
say what's up.
go get her dressed and get ready for the day. You want to go do stuff?
There you go.
Well, thank you, Panda. You ate up. We're gonna hit the full 3 hours now. So thank you.
A plus chat. Well done, Panda.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah, I tried.
You want to ride in the Jeep to Tarjay?
Oh.
Yeah, the Jeep can take us there. Where do you want to go? Tarjay. You're so classy.
I love it. Does she go to Chipotle as well?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Chipotle?
We do have a Chipotle. I don't think I've ever eaten at it.
It's okay. They had a big what's it called? Scare with what's that?
E. coli?
Bacteria? Yeah.
That was about 5 years ago, wasn't it? I remember seeing that on TV.
Yeah,
Now they're just getting on not treating their employees well.
Yeah, all that is fine and dandy as long as I can, still get a burrito. Because
Yep. I want my burrito bowl now, please.
Hey, listen, if I'm kicking around a soccer ball, I'm not thinking about what 5-year-old cousin of mine sewed it together. I'm just gonna kick around a soccer ball. Like, I'm sorry, I don't get into the politics behind it. The soccer ball.
I think of that every time, Panda. So I tell my boys when they're in the backyard kicking that ball back and forth, I'm like, Panda's cousin put a lot of work into this.
And he's not.
When it gets muddy, why don't you wipe it off? Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Make it last.
Make it last.
Some company had to pay 2 pennies for that, and then we in turn bought it for $20. So come on.
Right, exactly. And none of those pennies went to my my cousin.
None. They got to live for another day.
Jesus, man. Did you hear the
Are we into
Hyundai?
politics again?
There's a it was a Hyundai offshoot company that like does parts for Hyundai cars, and they had like a family that was working for them that was underage and unpaid. And it's like, oh, okay.
It's called a slave.
Best warranty in the game, though.
Oh shit!
Yikes.
I
And then
guess
there's
so.
also
If break,
tons of
just make
factories.
another one. That's awful.
It's like the factory that has this many days since our last accident, and it just constantly says 0.
All right, awesome. My crazy meds are ready to be picked up. I'll see you guys.
All right.
Take it easy, Amanda.
Save one for
Later,
me.
You going to
Amanda.
you going
You
to
say
Target
save
as
one for
well?
you? Huh?
You going to Target as well to pick them up?
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is that it's just a whole bunch of suppositories, and there's like 9 of them. So I've got quite an afternoon coming up. So Marcus, I'm really gonna need your help because you've got the steadiest hands out of all of us around
Hey.
here. So.
And
I know, dude. This is. I thought I was going to be a doctor, and then I saw this.
he's closest to.
So you decided to be a chiropractor instead?
Yeah.
How's
I'm
that
actually a
feel?
professional masseuse. I just like I hold my hand above people. All right, later,
Yes,
Panda.
I take them all at once. I take them all at once.
It's all about
I
the
take-
breathing.
I know, right?
Good point.
All right, y'all. For real. I'll see you guys later.
Later, dude. Panda's birthday tomorrow, right, everybody?
Cool.
Everybody, send him feet pics. It's what he wants the most. Hit him up on IG.
Yeah, I put my toenails down.
Nick, you got an auction this weekend?
Hmm?
Is there an auction this weekend?
Yes, there is. Sunday morning.
I think you just posted about it on IG. Check out Nick's Kicks and Comics on Instagram
There's
for more
my-
information.
there's my boy. Yep, Sunday morning.
Michelle.
So if you guys, anybody out there who wants to sell along with me,
10
come
o'clock
I,
Eastern?
10 a.m. Eastern.
I still
I'll be
have
back
gaping
eventually.
holes. My holes are not filled this week.
Yeah,
I know,
Iggy,
dude. That's my biggest problem.
Iggy was not feeling well this week. Feel better, Iggy.
And they won't be filled next week. So I'm in trouble.
Next week. But we do have some guest stars lined up. I'm not going to divulge who just yet.
Nice.
There's no show next week?
Thanksgiving, my man.
Yeah, but you know, I like doing the Remy Q generic version of everybody's shows when they don't air. So
All right.
That's
Maybe we'll
actually-
I'll have to figure
Wait, do
out
you
what I'm
actually-
going to call it. It's got to be something clever, but yeah, everybody tune into Remy Q Studios on Thursday because we don't care about holidays.
have at it. Tune in.
I hope you're serious because that would be so cool.
So much.
Absolutely, yeah. There's always like when In
Just
the Mix
call
isn't
it-
on, I've got Remy Mix or something. There's always some sort of generic version of that person's show. So yeah,
Just call it 2 stepdads.
yeah.
Two nerds stepped out. Yeah. Iggy's. So, yep, and we'll be back the week after.
I need to get a co-host now. Anybody who's willing to co-host, hit me up on Instagram.
At Remy Q Studios.
Yeah. Because if not, I'm just going to have 2 different camera angles and it'll be me going back and forth to each camera.
Get his
I'll have a
deadpan.
hat. I'll just take the hat off and I'll.
Yes, no, nobody. Now he doesn't need. Now I need to see that version.
It'll be
Nobody
pre-recorded me
hit-
talking to me.
Nobody
It'll be
hit
like
up
the
Remy.
Jurassic Park intro.
Remy Q Studios here. Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Remy Q Studios here.
Dino DNA.
Cook for 3 minutes.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna go shower and try to get the feeling of Panda's Pornhub search off of me. So
Okay, fair.
I'm out too. I got a shower before I hit
We
my
should all
LCS.
leave because since Mark's not here and he can't end
just
it
have
now, let's just leave.
Dead air.
Yeah.
No.
We appreciate everybody in the chat. To the panel, we appreciate you as well. And yeah, let's see how long it goes before Mark comes back on and shut it off. So
Yeah. Make sure
Just
you
keep
easy.
commenting on YouTube.
Yeah, keep the comment, keep the chat live. There you go.
channel sponsor Big Time Collectibles, as well as for all your
Don't
prep
be
needs.
back.
Oh no, the gig is up.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just being loud and doing stuff right here.
I got you.
Y'all can tell from the chat.
Got you.
But I don't watch the chat.
Omniscient, omnipresent.
Well, I'm gonna head off. I got to get ready to watch In the Mix tonight at 9 on DJ Link's channel.
Yeah, I gotta do some
And,
squats.
Yeah, I'm gonna prep for Remy's place tomorrow at 9 at Remy Q Studios, and then I've got the garage sale on Nick's Kicks and Comics at 10 on Sunday. So
Back weekend.
it's a lot I got to prep for. I'm really excited. It's gonna take up my whole weekend, to be honest with you. So
Should paint the wall behind you too. Jesus.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
No, it's like that because I have OCD and Remy just refuses to satisfy it.
Unsatisfied. That's the name of
that's why I keep
Kyle.
going from painted to unpainted. I just want everybody to realize, like, yep, and there you go.
How you know that's a place of hard work. All right, everybody. Thanks y'all for watching. See y'all next time.